Ladies and gentlemen, the first comedian that came to my set is Dan.
Probably
hopefully.
the last.
No, I hope I have a whole line of more comedians coming in today, and I hope that your trade is very dear to my heart. I done it when I was a kid, and always have great memories in the comedian world. But you're not only comedian, you also do voiceover, you're an actor, you do a number of things, and you started as Intel engineer.
Okay, so I was an engineer with Intel. My job was to travel the world with the executives of Intel, like the CEO, and do technical demonstrations on stage. Now, I could design the technical demos. I'm half Indian and half Japanese, so it was like I was bred for it, right? In fact, when I applied for the job at Intel, they said, you're Indian and Japanese, you don't even have to interview, right? So I was terrified, though, of speaking on stage in front of thousands of people at events all over the world. So I thought I have to do something to get over the fear, so I took a comedy class. And,
and that hooked you up.
Oh yeah, the final exam for the class is a performance at the Punchline in San Francisco. Did really well, got the video, showed it to my coworkers at Intel, and they said, you should perform at Comdex for the Intel group, 200 people. And someone saw that and came up and said, can you do this at the annual sales conference for 2,500 Intel employees? And I mean, it was Monday morning at 8 o'clock. No one had been drinking, right? And
that was a type audience.
Yeah, and it was people from all over.
Comedy usually done at night.
Exactly, for drunks. And so I was only half right. But I made fun of the CEO, Andy Grove, who recently passed away, and he has a very thick Hungarian accent, and they were dying. They were banging on tables, and people came up and said, now you're not really an Intel engineer, you were hired to pretend you're an Intel engineer, but you're really a professional comedian.
Why do you do so many things at once? Juggling so many balls, you voiceover, actor, like, is it helpful? Or it actually hurts, because people can say, the argument, if you're a comedian, that's what you do, right? Mm-hmm. But then if you do so many other things, you might not be the great at each one.
Well, that is true. I mean, I'm not great at any of these. No, but comedy actually leads into these other professions. Mm-hmm. I see comedy as the roots of a tree, and then voiceover, print modeling, which, believe it or not, I have 3 print agents. Yeah, me. Voiceover, these are all branches of the tree. So right. I did a commercial
so you bring something from those back to the...
I did a commercial for Apple with those 2 guys. You know, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC. I did voiceover for Family Guy last year.
Okay, not everybody like Seinfeld is famous and makes a lot of money. Let's talk about how the comedians makes money.
Well, usually in the beginning, you make nothing. Right? You start out making, it took me 2 years to make $5. And how did I make $5? I was handing out those flyers in Times Square, you know, come see the comedy show. I got $1 for each person who showed up. But it's possible to make, if you're a clean comedian and you're doing a corporate show, you can make 5, 10, 15, 20,000 for an hour of work. Now, I don't get that every time. I mean, it's very lumpy.
How do you get that kind of clean comedian look and reputation?
Well, I mean, I don't do any sex material or swearing on stage, nothing. Mm-hmm. And so I'm known for being a clean comedian, done a lot of corporate shows, performed for President Obama, and for President Trump, who was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I'm fantastic. I'm at his golf course in Palm Beach, and performed for Mrs. Clinton as well. And all of these are charity
How
deals.
do you get those big gigs? Like, what's special? But there are plenty of other guys who try and
girls
fail, and girls.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the internet allows you to market yourself. I've got 1.5 million, I think, on one YouTube video, which has gotten me booked in 28 countries all over the world. I think it's just very aggressive marketing. For example, I got to perform at a lot of events.
Do you post a lot of videos of you performing, or you hire the firm? Like, what do you do?
Oh, no, I do everything myself.
You do everything yourself.
For example, if I see an event I really want to do, like, say, Wisdom 2.0, which actually, do you know Meng Tan from Google?
Okay.
Yeah, he wrote Search Inside Yourself. He's sort of the meditation guru at Google. He saw me at a conference called Wisdom 2.0. How did I get that conference? I just emailed the organizers and said, I'm a clean comedian. Could I come and perform? Also, Ariana Huffington was there, and I got a very nice testimonial from her. I have a testimonial from President Obama on tape.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah, and so it's very aggressive, you know, marketing. At the end of the show, I hand my card out to every person. I sell CDs and DVDs.
We spoke on the phone, and you mentioned you do impersonations on the phone, and you get Trump and others fall for it.
I've called famous people like Governor Patterson and Donald Trump and pretended to be Bill Clinton. And I would call up his office and said, "This is the office of President Bill Clinton. I have Mr. Clinton on the line for Mr. Trump, please." And I couldn't believe it. They put me through to his assistant, and then I said the same thing, and I hear this, "Hello," and it was him. And and I said, now we had a couple of people drop out of Chelsea's wedding, and we were wondering if you might like to attend. I was basically inviting him to Chelsea's wedding, which was the next day. He goes, "Bill, I'd be honored. I'd be honored." And here's the funny thing is I never told him it was a joke because I was terrified because that was the first famous person I got on the phone. And I read about a year ago during the election campaign in Vanity Fair, it says, "Donald Trump tried to crash Chelsea's wedding." And
So
that's because of me.
You've been behind this. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do practical jokes. What do you think of the guys like Sacha Baron Cohen and the and new crew of the comedy that's more like a pranks? Do you think that has a future?
I think. I mean, he's got an amazing career, right? And you remember the Jerky Boys from a long time ago, and so I want to. Maybe I shouldn't say it here, but I want to like get 500 celebrities and call them up as Bill Clinton and get them on YouTube one per week, right? And release Donald Trump one week, and then maybe Richard Branson next week, and then maybe just I'll be known as a guy who called up all these famous people as Bill Clinton.
Do you do any live shows?
Do live shows all over the world.
Not like I mean the record and have the okay.
Yeah, so I've done Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai 6 times, 5 tours of India. I even did Pakistan, and I know the laughs were real because no one's drinking over there. It's a very 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 strict country. And I've been all over.
It will be definitely a pleasure to record something with you.
Great.
Maybe.
Oh, and I have a sitcom we're trying to.
Once you just came in, but once you see other studios, maybe you find a few more sets interesting for you.
And I've just written a sitcom about a comedian who has a brain injury. I had a brain injury and almost passed away 2 years ago. Hit my head at a gym called Crunch, ironically. Had to go to the hospital and almost passed away and survived. And so the sitcom's about a Intel engineer, has a brain injury, survives and decides he wants to leave and become a comedian and start his own clean comedy club.
Wow.
In a laundromat.
What's your Instagram?
Everything is Comedian Dan. ComedianDan.com. Everything is Comedian Dan. Facebook, Comedian Dan. Twitter, Comedian Dan. And MySpace. And Friendster. No, I'm just kidding.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions or you'd like to book Dan, perhaps you can reach out. You just heard his social media, and you can still see it on the teleprompter, on the subtitles. We'll love to have you again.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I'm next to a very beautiful lady. Nicole is all the way from Virginia, and Nicole is not only a model, as you can see, she's very pretty, but she's also an actress. So Nicole here with us here in New York. Thank you for coming. Why did you come here today?
Well, basically I came because I wanted to tell the world my story.
Tell your story.
I want to let everyone know that no matter where you come from, no matter what tools you have to work with, no matter what's going on in your life, you should never give up on your dreams. You should always go that extra mile because you never know what's going to go on that day. You never know what's going to pop up. You have to have your things in line, so if something goes wrong, you always have a backup plan. You just have to make sure that you are good, and don't ever try to book your day full of things to do for other people, no matter how bad they make you feel for not doing it, no matter what they say to you. You always have to make sure that in the end that you're going to be okay.
You are non-union, but you want to become a union actress.
Yes.
Like, why is that? Like, what it gives you? What's the difference between union and non-union actress?
Well, often their pay is better, everything, your health care is better, everything from that standpoint is better. I mean, even the food on the set that you get is better when you're
Okay.
union.
I see. But union jobs are very limited, right? And union
Yes.
overall cost of production is very expensive. So a lot of indie movies are making way more money as a business rather than so there is much less work for the union than non-union actors. So a lot of girls who are non-union make a killing income, and union girls are just starving. It's even a lot of them can't pay the dues.
Well-
You know, like I don't know if you've been around and you've seen people in the industry, but it's not fair for everybody.
Well, I also know that once you join in the union, you are limited to work because you cannot any longer accept non-union jobs. You're only doing union jobs.
Right.
So I think it's all dependent on the stage in your life that you're in and the work that you've done. Like if you've accomplished your goals, which would probably be to have a reel made and to have work to show what kind of actress you are, I would say once you have that, that would be the right time to join with the union.
I see. Is the accent particularly makes a difference in the union? Let's say I have heavy Russian accent. Your accent is from south, I would say, to my ear. Like, would that something that union folks, when they hire you for the movies, would consider, or you can do different accents?
You could have different accents, and often you would want to do a class so you can learn how to speak in just an American tone instead of having a certain dialect. So that could also limit you in having certain jobs, whether you're non-union or union.
For the different accent, do you really need to go for the class, or you can do it YouTube videos? You can do like a practice it yourself, like a.
I think you could set it up and do it yourself if you just set up your cell phone camera. You get on YouTube, you practice, you go back and watch yourself. I mean, even have a friend listen to it and just make sure that you're saying your words right, because to you, you don't think you have an accent. You know, other people often hear it, but it might slip out here and there.
How do you make money as an actress, as a model? Like, what's the secret to convert non-paying gigs to paid gigs?
I think it's all about what you have on tape. If you don't have anything at all, if you don't have any experience, you want to go ahead and get the jobs that you can get, which are going to be the easiest ones, which are non-paid gigs. And that's the way you can really go and build up your experience.
What would be the proper way to approach a model and actress on the street? If I come to you and give you my business card, would that be sufficient, or I need to say like who I am and what I do? Like, what would be the best line? I think the photographers will find that advice very useful.
Well, let's say you don't have your portfolio with you. Let's say you don't have all of your things and you just happen to run into a model on the street or an actress on the street, or no, just a new face. It all depends
You can show
on
on the phone.
what
You don't need a portfolio. Phone has
Yeah.
it
Well,
all,
if
right?
you're passing out cards and you don't have any of your links on it or anything for people to check out, they're not going to take you seriously because they don't think that you're doing anything. They don't see anything worth
Right,
it.
so links are important on the card.
Yeah, your links and your work and your portfolio to show people what you're doing, because someone can sit here and talk to you all day, but that doesn't mean they're doing anything.
Okay. Is there any particular advice for the audience as the model and actress how to start in the industry?
I would start off treating it like it's a real job. Don't treat it like it's some extra thing that you're doing. Treat it like a real job. You have to have a resume. You don't even have to have an agent, but you have to treat it like a job. You have to treat it like something important.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions, or if you'd like to hire Nicole as your actress or model, what's your Instagram by any chance?
Nicole Irene, and it's spelled Nikkole Irene.
And you're not having representation now, but are you looking to be represented?
Yes.
So maybe guys like I don't know if I introduced you today to Ruben or some other folks here today. They have some roster. They might be interesting for you to meet. Do you like the space today? Do you like where we are? Like how
Yes.
in the production?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Hopefully you can model and participate in some of our music videos later on today if we got some time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce a friend, a model, eBay, Amazon's seller, successful Oksana.
Hi everybody.
You have done quite a few things. We done with you fitness girl calendar.
Yes.
You sell like me on eBay and Amazon.
Yeah.
And you wearing one of my dresses for the wedding collection 2017.
Yes.
So
yes.
those beads actually will glow. So if we turn off the lights, they would not be able to see you, but they will see the signals and signs on the dress.
Wow,
So
it's nice.
every dress
Beautiful.
has a different sign, so when all the brides walk, you can read kind of a message. So some have Jewish
Wow.
symbols, some have Muslim symbols, some have Christian. So it's once you see the full collection, you see a message together from brides all over the world.
Nice. Very beautiful.
Tell us a little bit about your operation. What do you do?
I'm do modeling, fashion. I was working fashion like last 6 years, and I do some businesses eBay. I sell some products, and
How do you do it? Like, do you take your own pictures? How do you pick the products?
products. It's all about buy right things, and you do good research, and you see what people like to buy, and you found especially good price. And after
But
you...
where do you find the price? You go in China? You go in
Chinese
stores?
websites. Yeah,
Chinese
Chinese websites.
websites.
Because I have some connections with Chinese people from my previous work, like in Russia. So I'm very close to them. So and very close to me. Yeah, so
I
we
tend
give
to
good price.
go to the factory and make my own brand. So like have my own label. So I tend to control the full production that way. They cannot upsell me because like in these dresses, like I make them in China, right? So they're very cheap.
Yes,
But
exactly.
if I start selling exact same thing what they're selling in China, with all my advertising, all my expenses for the models and the marketing, they just keep selling under my name. So what I have to modify it, like with those glow and dark beads, for example. So that way, and I do it here in Brooklyn actually. Most of my ladies who sew, they are disabled, so they have some kind of disability.
Yeah.
So I bring them the product, they sew the beads, and then I take it from them. So the Asian part, they would not be able to sell exact same dress because it's been modified.
Okay.
That way.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate yourself?
For example, if you wanna have your own brand, you create your own brand. You make like a picture for that, or you paint something what you like, and you send it to the fabric, and they can make for you everything what you want. It's like.
Okay.
But you need to create some own brand what it's like not exactly now in the market, need to be different, and like make website,
Is your
Is that
modeling helping you to sell on eBay and Amazon?
No, it's too different. Like it's
You
just
don't
like
put
more
together?
about business. No, I don't put together. I don't mix together because business is business. Modeling is more like art creation. It's your mind doesn't think about money. Business it's more about money.
Really,
Yeah.
I happen to put those things together.
Yeah.
When I have those beautiful models, they model my jewelry, they model my dresses. So it actually helps me to move the product. So people look at beautiful girls, but they buy my product. So I happen to actually combine those
nice
things together.
combination. But for me, it's like I have two different parts in the me. So one it's business person, one it's like do modeling. So for me, it's like more like. I can't mix together. I don't know why, but it's different.
Well, today on the interview, you will meet one of the three characters. As you know, I have Mr. Great, I have MC Photo, and I have Mr. Prudent. Mr. Prudent is very similar to the Scrooge. He's very cheap, so he doesn't like to spend any money. He likes to use people for free. And MC Photo, he's very similar to the Bruno character from Sacha Baron Cohen, so I'm a little bit gayish in that role. And Mr. Great is Mr. Great.
Yeah, Mr. Great is Mr. Great,
So,
yeah.
Which one would you like to do the interview with?
I think about Mr. Great. I think it's nice, but I think it's about maybe character number 3. It's like more like, you know.
Which one, the Prudent guy?
Yeah. Maybe
It's in the Russian market. We have.
It's more emotional, I think.
We have the character called Alexander Koreyko from the book of the Ilfi Petrov.
Yes.
12 Chairs and.
I know.
Golden.
Golden Taurus or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's very tight with money, but he has lots of it.
Yeah.
So that's. It happened to be popular in the modeling industry.
Yes.
A lot of people use models and try to do things. How do you deal with that?
You know, I always make agreement before. You know, I always.
Right, but a girl would make an agreement. Let's say I have Irene just recently. Someone promised to her $3,000 for the shoot, and she never does the nude stuff. And they've told her $3,000 you do nude. She did nude for them, which she was not comfortable with. Guess what? They pay her nothing. I told her if it's way too much money, if it's way different, it must be some kind of scam.
You know, my situation a little bit different. I have agent, so he always check. You know, so he have
agent
some
helps.
Agent helps. Yeah, I signed this one model agency, and they're looking for me for like.
So, but do they force them? Do they come with a gun? How the agent can make them pay?
Agent, it's like first of money go to the agency, so after they pay you, like because it's agency have.
So you'd rather leave bulk of the money with the agency because agency doesn't work for free, right?
They take 20% of all money. So for me, it's better give for the agent some money. And
not to worry about collecting.
And not to worry. Because I not worry about castings. They are looking for me castings, and they no market, So if I gonna I do sometimes some research by myself, but it's everything. It's like not really good. I don't have.
It's difficult to find gigs on your own.
And especially if somebody doesn't want to pay for my money, I'm not going to be pushing that. I'm not that kind of person what I can say, oh, let's go. I call you all the time. No, if you don't want to pay, don't want to pay. I don't want to push on nobody. So,
okay.
So for me, it's better have agent and he
someone to represent you.
Yeah, represent me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. If you have more questions how to sell on eBay and Amazon, this young lady knows it all. And hopefully you'd find her beautiful. And maybe if you're interested in the modeling career, you can reach out. And the subtitles will have credits and Oksana's information.
Thank you.
Друзья, я рад вам представить одну из наших моделей. Оксана с нами моделировала в Fitness Girl Calendar, и это календарь для спорта. Девушки в спортзале, и даже, по-моему, делали календарь с martial arts, с единоборствами, или, да?
Нет,
ты не делала
да.
Ну, фитнес мы делали с тобой, да?
Фитнес делали, да.
Это было год назад, был неимоверно большой холод, и
да, было очень холодно в джиме.
И мы все равно в джиме было более-менее не холодно, на улице было очень холодно.
Да, на улице была сумасшедшая зима.
Вот. Оксана еще чем интересна, она не просто модель, она еще приторговывает на eBay и вроде успешно торгует.
Да,
расскажи, пожалуйста, про вот эти два аспекта твоей жизни. Модельный бизнес и...
Модельный бизнес на eBay это два разных понятия, то есть как бы...
Ты их не совмещаешь?
Я их не совмещаю, да, и получается...
Я вот совмещаю, то есть я фотографирую модели, скажем, я когда ювелирку продаю, я когда продаю какие-то там платья, вот, которые на себе, это glow in the dark, это мой дизайн.
Да, очень красивое платье.
То есть я, скажем, покупаю в Китае это платье килограммами, то есть я покупаю их очень дешево, много, обшиваю вот этими бусинками, которые светятся в темноте, glow in the dark, и фотографирую на таких красивых моделях, как ты.
Спасибо.
И после этого они продаются. Если просто вот платье купить и не сфотографировать на такой девушке, как ты, красивой, то оно не очень продается, скажем так. То есть у меня как раз эти вещи связаны.
У меня
вместе.
просто другой тип того, что я продаю. У меня нету определенного вида товара, что вот конкретно я продаю. Вот вы,
Сегодня
например,
одно,
делаете,
завтра
да. Я делаю
ты
как...
чужой товар торгуешь. Я-то
Да.
делаю свой товар,
Да.
а ты...
Свою еще не изобрела, но в скорейшем будущем, может быть, я какой-то открою свой бренд, но я надеюсь. У меня просто очень много всего в голове, и мне надо сконцентрироваться на этом.
Скажи, ты вот красивая, ты замужем, но вот, скажем, ты идешь по улице, скажем, если фотограф увидел тебя и хочет тебя пригласить как модель участвовать в фотосессии, какая будет хорошая реплика, что хорошо, правильно будет сказать, чтобы ты обратила внимание? Потому что очень много людей думают, просто познакомиться, переспать, как бы пристать.
Нет.
Какие правильные слова может фотограф сказать, чтобы ты воспринял это серьезно?
У меня были такие несколько ситуаций в Манхэттене, когда один фотограф подошел ко мне, он дал просто свою визитку. То есть я не думаю, что человек, который профессионал, он должен много говорить. Он просто...
То есть надо иметь всегда с собой визитку?
Да, надо иметь с собой визитку. На визитке всегда есть данные. То есть ты можешь пойти в интернет и увидеть этого человека фотографии, и ты должен уже решить, позвонить ему или нет. То есть у меня вот такая ситуация была где-то, может...
И ты позвонила?
Я позвонила, да. Этот человек, он сейчас мой хороший друг, и он работает для 2 модельных агентств.
У меня, например, очень часто я давал, так вот, скажем, придешь на фэшн-шоу и раздаешь моделям бизнес-карточки. И практически то ли я слабый фотограф, им недостаточно понравились мои фотографии работы, или что, но очень маленькая отдача. То есть, когда я начинаю разговаривать с человеком, гораздо больше отдача.
Ну, это, наверное, смотря с кем. Просто некоторые девочки, может, не воспринимают это всерьез, и, может, просто они выкинули эту визитку, да, они не обратили внимания, как бы. Но надо всегда обращать внимание на работу этого человека, потому что, может быть, тебе не понравилась фотография там одного человека, но ты проверил другие фотографии в интернете, и надо посмотреть, какой стиль он практикует, то есть с кем он работает, то есть сколько у него опыта работы. То есть...
понимаешь... Скажем, какой стиль? Вот у меня, например, каждый разный мой веб-сайт, каждая моя работа сделана в разном стиле. У меня есть fairy tale style. То есть я, когда много фотошопа, все дорисованное, очень такой, знаешь, нереальный мир. У меня есть очень практическая фотография, когда я фотографирую, можно сказать, как Polaroid, и оно все видно. Да, то есть, в зависимости, какой на сайт, у меня как бы на карточке десяток этих сайтов. То есть неизвестно, на какой они пойдут смотреть. Как обратить внимание модели? На что модель смотрит? Вот на что ты обращаешь, когда фотограф?
Я, просто честно, не смотрю вот вообще на внешний вид, как человек выглядит, мне все равно. Вот мне надо видеть его работу. То есть стоит мне тратить время на него или нет, потому что время — это как бы очень важная часть нашей жизни, и поэтому я думаю,
Может, у него сегодня плохие работы, поэтому он ищет моделей, а завтра он научится, станет сильным большим фотографом и будет очень сильной работой.
Ну, это тоже...
Может быть, он уже сегодня состоялся, и у него очень красивые, хорошие работы, но он уже ничего нового не сделает, он уже идет с базара. То есть он уже как бы... Вот что он умеет, он фотографирует. И дальше...
я думаю, чтобы обратить внимание девушки, можно ей сказать, например, что я агентом или я работаю с агентствами, то есть ты будешь... Я помогу тебе подписать контракт с агентством. То есть вот это, я думаю, более такой активный шаг от фотографа, что девушка сможет как бы, выбрать его.
То есть фотограф предложит ей, чтобы она в агентство попала?
Да. Вот это, мне кажется, более такое, как бы, бизнес, такая, как сторона этого. Потому что каждая модель хочет...
Агентство имеет очень часто всякие restrictions. Есть и сильные агентства знаменитые, которые очень серьезные. Но есть очень много мелких, таких грязных агентств, которые мы называем шейдинг, серые. Если, не дай бог, тебя там изнасиловали, или тебя сфотографировали голой, или что-то произошло, то, что ты не хотела, я, как фотограф, послав тебя в такое агентство, ты это принесешь мне. Куда же ты меня послал? Меня там раздели, меня там обидели, меня не заплатили. То есть очень... А ты никаким образом не можешь контролировать после того, как ты сделал рекомендацию, что в этом агентстве происходит. То есть поэтому как бы просто рекомендовать агентство будет очень сложный этап.
Я не знаю, я думаю, что какой-то должен быть удача какая-то сопутствовать. Или если девочка хочет быть моделью, то она должна регистрировать себя в интернете на определенных веб-сайтах, где люди пишут как ревью, как сказать по-русски, да, они пишут оценки свои от других фотографов, ну и ты можешь как бы проверить и посмотреть, то есть если человек действительно интересуется, если...
Вот у меня, например, я работаю в как бы финансовой индустрии, и я ничего не выставляю, и ничего нет под моим именем, то есть да, я фотографирую, ты знаешь, я фотограф, я многие вещи делаю, но в принципе меня найти не так просто. То есть я специально хорошо работаю, делаю разные другие вещи, в том числе вот такое вот шоу, чтобы основные вещи, которые важны, они не находятся. То есть есть ряд вещей, которых я рекламирую, которые выставляю вперед, чтобы прикрыть те другие вещи, которые я не хочу, чтобы видели. Поэтому очень часто ты не можешь сказать, кто на самом деле. Вот у нас сегодня был Дэвид. Дэвид делает там огромные деньги, 600-800 тысяч годовых. Посмотришь на него, ну, обычный парень, и все. А он там большой начальник в Амазоне, он большой руководитель. То есть ты по внешнему виду, и он это не скажет. То есть друзья, знакомые знают, какие должности, какие важные места человек занимает, что он может делать. Поэтому портфолио онлайн не всегда говорит о человеке. Очень многие фотографы сильные ничего не выставляют в интернет. Особенно тем более, что если они еще продают их в галереях.
Ну да, наверное, какой-то определенный вид фотографов, которые выставляют больше, которые только этим работают, потому что некоторые фотографы, у них там несколько бизнес, то есть они могут и продавать, они могут и фотографировать, но какие-то фотографы, они только делают это ради, как бы одна работа только в их жизни, то есть они только занимаются этим, поэтому они выставляют свои работы в основном.
Дело которых это единственное,
да, которое единственное, что они делают, да.
Понятно. Вот. К сожалению, у нас очень мало времени осталось, вернее, его не осталось совсем. Если вы хотите услышать, как Оксана торгует на eBay, мы это запишем в отдельное интервью. И мы надеюсь, что вам будет интересно, пишите, и Оксана с удовольствием, наверное, расскажет.
Конечно, обязательно.
Вопросы, если какие-то пришлете, придешь нам еще раз?
Конечно, без проблем.
Спасибо
большое.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of greatness. Diana is here. Diana is an artist who does murals and sculptures. And let's hear a little bit more what you do, why you do this, who are you?
Hi, very nice to meet you and to be here. I actually do a lot of murals. That's my main occupation for residences and for businesses. And the ones I love to do the most are the nurseries.
How do you find them? How do they find you?
Actually, when I started doing this, I put an ad in a local parents magazine. And it used to be the Bible for my neighborhood, so I started getting phone calls. And after a while, the word of mouth kicked in, which is the best advertising anybody can have. People loved what I do, and they would just literally cherish me and hand me over from friend to friend, from family member to family member.
When people are looking for someone like yourself, what kind of traits are they looking for?
They're looking for somebody who would listen to them, who would understand them, who would consider their needs, their personal style, as well as the style of their home.
But do they choose you because they love your vision, or they want you to implement their vision? What's more important?
Well, sometimes I do get
They,
somebody.
you have your own
Yeah,
style, right? You
I
have
do.
your own unique signature. So do
I
they
do
really
ha-
want
yeah.
you to do it because of your style, or they just
It's
want?
the chicken and the egg. I do have my own style, but my background is in graphic design, which is working with Fortune 500 companies where you really have to see the client's vision and to satisfy them. So that's my biggest asset. I listen to my client and I fulfill their vision and their fantasy in whatever style they choose. I'm very versatile that way.
You have a daughter who is 17 and who is trying herself in modeling and acting. How do you measure this, and how do you protect her from being used in the industry? What's the ways to protect the kids?
Well, first of all, she's 17, so she's still a minor. She's a baby, so I literally have to be present at every job she does. I hold her by the hand. And luckily, all the great values that I've put into raising her are now coming through. And I
Do
see
you
it every
negotiate her
day.
deals? Do you let her talk to the artist directly?
No, she's not allowed to talk to anybody. Every deal goes through me, and we carefully pick and choose what she does and what she doesn't do. So
How do you choose which one goes in and which one not?
it's not based on the money. It is based on the image that she's trying to project and on the brand that she's launching of herself.
So it's more important if it fits in her portfolio
Of
in
course,
that sense,
yes.
rather than
If it's
the-
it has to be classy. Trashy won't do.
Okay, but how do you know which crew, let's say, will exploit her looks, and which one will have a future?
She's signed by an agency, therefore they're very much aware of her age and her needs and her preferences. So they only give her the jobs that she's fit for. And right now, I'm very happy to say that she very successfully completed New York Bridal Week.
Wow.
And she did New York Couture Fashion Week twice and absolutely loved it. So these are very upscale and very classy events, and of course the gowns were gorgeous, and she
Did you
looked
see my collection?
beautiful. Not yet. I'm gonna check out every
We
piece
have
that
some-
you have. Yes.
With some glow in dark fashion, and
Excellent.
in the
I like something edgy.
in the February. It's not that edgy. It's just glow in the dark. It's
But that's
fluorescent.
fun. That's unusual.
Yes.
I like anything that's out of the box.
But the new collection that we are developing now is coming out as a family collection. So it has a
Yes, you mentioned that.
multi-generational look. So we have grandparents, we have the children, we have the parents. So it's like the whole look like a brothers and sisters. So it's not just usually
That's
in a fashion
great.
walk you would just see the children, or you would
Right.
see the female, or you
Yeah.
would see a male.
Well, like
or
mommy and me,
like
and
a
here
mommy-
it's the whole clan,
it's
the whole
clan. So when
dynasty.
people do the Christmas picture, they want to have a picture with
A cohesive look.
Exactly. So
Excellent.
It's, yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see it.
There are about 11 designers working together to put, because the shoes, the
It all has
suits,
to
the
match.
the guys, the older folks, the younger folks. So it's a variety of hip hop, kind of different looks for the family, and they all have to be cohesive to each other.
That's great.
My question to you is going back to you as an artist. You come from Jewish heritage like me, and
Yes, we share that.
when you do your art, you are quite aware of restrictions that the rabbis, especially Hasidic or religious, would put. How that affect your life as an artist?
Well, actually, the Jewish heritage and culture is very rich, and there are lots of symbols that represent different values in our religion, as you know. So I've done projects where I've used the images like the Hamsa or the Jewish star in a very creative and inventive
I've done
way.
it also with my collection, and I
Right.
got a really terrible press on this.
Really?
A lot of rabbis felt that I objectify my models, and they are like. In the Jewish tradition, in a sense, that's not the proper way of presenting.
Yeah, but
a
we all
woman.
wear our Jewish symbols, so I don't really see the conflict there.
Exactly,
And plus,
that's-
what
that's-
you do work with sexy bodies, and I work, with paper, canvas, or walls.
They thought so if I'm using the Jewish symbol, it's okay. But at the minute I'm using the religious symbol, which is also Magen David, or
Yeah.
that's not okay. How do you distinguish between those two? Like, I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah,
but at the
no,
same time,
neither do I. I'm
still
always very careful.
I'm not shy of who I am. So
of course. And I think there's also, the secular, the social connotation of the Jewish symbols, and I am more of that. I do respect our culture and religion and tradition, but I'm more of a spiritual person.
How do you tackle this? Like, if you get, you probably never get.
I haven't.
So,
I really,
I
have a 10-foot metal sculpture in Staten Island on permanent display, and it's a 10-foot Jewish star, which is made up of a body of a man and a woman, and when the two cross, it forms a Jewish star. So, in a way, it is symbolic of a man and a woman. It's the unity, it's the family, but yes, they are, representational of human bodies, and it's my award-winning piece, so I really haven't had much criticism.
Okay.
It's like the community symbol.
This community is really looking forward. I don't know if you saw my pageant. I have a Jewish model competition. All the Jewish girls from different countries from the world competing which Jewish girl is the most prettiest one.
That's great.
And,
Jewish girls are the prettiest.
And it was very difficult to share the message with the rabbis, so to get political support from the congressmen, from the councilmen.
Really?
They all felt that it's objectifying, God forbid, because if I would only have the dress, that would be fine. But the minute swimwear comes in line...
Yes, swimwear is very controversial.
And,
I could see.
The minute a different age group comes in line, and I want to Jewish ladies participate. So I have in my pageant. I don't know if you ever saw my pageants. We have grandmothers, we have wives, so we have the daughters. So it's a multi-age. It's not just a particular.
Can I participate?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great.
Actually, you are probably the most successful demographic for that pageant.
Okay.
Historically, every pageant that is taking place, whether it's Indian pageants or models or Pakistani or the Jewish, women who own businesses and promote their businesses, they use the pageant is a platform.
Of course,
it's a space where you can promote your cause. You have your charity,
your
you have
brand,
your cause. So a lot of ladies who own travel agency or bridal business or whatever business that needs some kind of voice come on stage, and it takes quite a bit of courage to be on stage. So
of course,
we even have one time experience when the mother and the daughter competed in the pageant together. So
are you suggesting?
No, I'm just you can watch that show. So the mother won the pageant. We didn't realize that it will be on the same stage because the mother won against the wives. So we have the Jewish wives competition, and the daughter won the crowned Miss Jewish.
I see.
So at the end we had luckily the unrelated grandma won the pageant. She had a wheelchair, so it was a little bit of charity, but.
That sounds like a fun competition.
But the whole family is coming. That's.
It should be a family event because the Jewish culture is all about the family and the community.
Yes.
So it sounds very fitting.
Okay, so you're welcome to join us, and
I applaud you in your endeavor.
We try that as a noble cause, something that actually inspire and help the ladies to have their own space to opportunity to talk and
and showcase themselves. Yeah,
yes,
it's great.
So that's why age is not a limit there.
It's not a limit. Super.
You get husbands, you get guys of proper attire who vote, and your family comes support. So you have pretty good chance as much as anybody. It's not about the usually the audience comes from the people who support the participants. So
sounds like a great event.
Okay, we have you there.
Okay, you got a fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's your Instagram by any chance?
My Instagram is Diana's Murals. That's the name of my business.
Is there a website with it?
Oh yes, my website is www.dianasmurals.com.
Please check and look at Diana's work. I think it's pretty amazing, and hopefully we have Diana come back again.
I would love to.
If you have any questions for Diana, please write email to us, so Diana might answer on the next show, and hopefully you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Lawrence with us here. Lauren's presence is the courtesy of Ruben today, and Lawrence does fashion.
Yes. Hello.
What kind of fashion do you do?
I personally do couture, men's and women's, and I do collection for the retailer stores.
Why do you do that?
Collection gives me the money flow so that I can eat and pay my rent, and my clients give me the exposure I need in their countries to sell.
Okay. How people make money in the fashion world? Yeah, how difficult it is? Like, what's the options there? You just look for the few private wealthy clients, or you just go ready to wear? Like, what's the ways today in today's world?
There's many different ways to make money. I was told a long time ago in different languages by different teachers, if you dress the customer in the limo, you're on the bus. If you dress the woman and man on the bus, you're in the limo because of the volume of money. It depends on how honest you are also with your clients when you make them clothes and what they expect from you, and even with the market and stores.
But why do you do this? You live in New York City. You can be a lawyer. You can be a doctor. You can do anything in the world and you chose this profession. Why?
I personally love change. I can't stand stagnation. Yes, the body's the same, but women get pregnant. Women have their cycles and their body changes. Fashion's always changing, looking for new, different ideas, different looks. And that keeps me on my toes.
Okay. The fashion world is changing nowadays, and there is more acceptance for the different color, the skin tones. There is more acceptance for the age. There is more acceptance to the height, weight, plus size. What do you think is the future of the fashion world in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Where is the fashion taking us?
We're going with technology. America is going with wearable technology, where we want to have the keyboard on our sleeves. We want to wear the technology. Europe is using the technology on the garments. I sell in Europe and Asia. I use the European model, where actually this top, this is made
a lot of
from
designers leave the New York Fashion Week. I just saw the Fashion Week like never before. I've been doing this for 7-10 years as a New York Fashion Week, and nowadays all the major firms are leaving, and they stay in Europe. We're commercial, right? We want to make money, and Europe is more about making a statement, making difference.
I'm going to be honest. What I believe, fashion is an Italian and French art and industry. The
So
British
we don't have
are
enough
learning.
Italians in America. We don't have enough French.
The large corporations here don't understand how to nurture a designer and make money off of them.
Why not? What's not to understand?
They don't. Something is not. I don't understand. If I knew, I'd open.
How come the Europe keep holding? We attract here the. If we talk about technology, Google and big corporations are here. If we talk about like movies down in California, in LA, so there are a lot of talented industries that require to be creative, whether it's songwriting or some fashion is also creative art piece, and all of a sudden Europe still hold on to it. What do they do so special that we don't have here? New York, we have infrastructure, we have plenty of money, I can tell you that.
The money isn't lacking. The infrastructure kind of is. I teach also, and I am always looking for good sewers to work with me, to teach them how to sew. My sewing team, when I get production, I use 70 and 80-year-old tailors. The younger people don't want to sew. They all want to be stars. And they may want to make one pair of pants and then be a tailor.
Also, my knitting folks are disabled. So
Yeah.
I have quite a few ladies in Brooklyn who can't go to work, and they have some kind of disability, and they can sew and they can do knitting at home. So otherwise, I'll be out of business. I try to use the knitting and sewing facilities in Russia and Ukraine. The quality is not the same. They have the same trade, but there is no. The industry is dying. Basically, those folks are not there anymore.
I know in Italy and France, because I freelance there, the samples are made in-house, but with technology that the factories also have in China. Italy and France have partnerships where the Italians and French take their machines, their technology into China, oversee the Chinese with a cheap labor.
I see.
We are caught. And the government throws so much money towards fashion. When you go to a fabric show, like Première Vision in Paris, you're given the color card. You sit in a half-hour presentation of the 14 colors for that season. You leave thinking, oh, I want avocado orange.
Okay.
And you're brainwashed.
If China, if other countries choose to step up and fund the fashion, they will have the future. Do you think if New York will, on the government level, just throw money into fashion, it will change things?
A little bit, yes. If China's already throwing money.
The Soviet Union tried to fund things and it didn't work. The free system kind of wins. Trump with much less money won over Hillary with way more money and with little Twitter accounts. So sometimes money is not the factor. Nowadays with the Instagram, you can have an account and all those, the casting directors and the designers, a lot of them out of work nowadays.
Well, I want to say, you were talking about Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week, the problem I see with it, people don't realize this is to the industry to present the new looks so that they can be photographed in magazines and pulled for movies and pulled for before.
It's live. I'm shooting the Fashion Week and everybody, wherever I have my feed, everybody wants the feed now. By the time I get home and edit, it's all sold out. It's gone. They want ready to wear. Once the girl is on the runway, that's when they want to buy it. Now,
Italians
that moment.
And French are not
off the runway.
Yeah,
the sale stops.
They have Italy and France. Quick. They have 4 or 5 outfits that you can order at there, and it's delivered to them within 2 months. Mm-hmm. The Italians and French are doing it. We were ahead of technology. We're not anymore in the world.
Huh, interesting.
The Vogue Italia I picked up in September had every designer's outfits that were available online. Vogue Italia is heavily sponsored by the Italian government as well.
Huh. Okay.
The U.S. Vogue, 200 pages of what? Advertising.
Do you think it's difficult to apply for the grants for the money for fashion? Do you think the government does not recognize the value in
here?
It's creates so many jobs. The models, the designers, the magazines. It's something that has to be done here in New York.
Alone is $10 billion in the year. $10 billion the runway shows.
So if they put an extra billion in this, it's another 10 billion.
Yes, those go to 15 billion. If I had the answer, I really wish I could.
Is there a math behind it that could prove your point?
Well, we need to see what happens. Well, Europe, it's working.
So it's working. Europe.
Yes, luxury is not selling in this country because we don't have the jobs. We don't have the economy supporting.
The market is all the way on top. Look at things.
For that little bit, for those. My customers,
everything is up.
Well, I see the women that have the $4,000 or $5,000 Lanvin. That's average everyday bags that they throw around.
Yep.
But when you look out there,
look at the Park Avenue. Look at you have to look at the right place.
But then let's go into the U.S. You have to go to Chicago. DC has a little bit. In Europe, they consume it more. My aunt has that bag.
My understanding was, let's say, in Russia, Ukraine, where I come from, for example, the women would dress much nicer than here in States. And the reason for that is because they're looking for a husband. They're looking for to brand themselves and promote themselves. So even if she goes to throw the garbage out, she'll put her makeup, she'll put her heels. God forbid the neighbor will see her. And so in Europe, there is a tradition to look awesome at all times, no matter which day of the week it is. So even at home, they would wear it just to... for those reasons. And here in States, the girls can make decent money. They don't have to depend on the guys. So she can look whatever she looks. If she's a computer scientist or she's a doctor, she's a lawyer, she makes plenty of money. She doesn't have to rely on the male part. So there is not that much tradition necessity to show off in that regard. So they're not doing this. If they're doing something for themselves, so it has to be comfortable, has to be something that pleased her personally, but not so much to be objectified by the as a sexual object. Uh, let's look into the your production. What are you doing nowadays? What are you doing? What's your future?
I'm actually looking into using technology for making better fibers. My collection is a non-carbon footprint, where we take things before they go to landfill. Like I was saying, this top is iron from oil tankers and cement blocks from industry. The technologies used is they break it down, make these fibers that are wearable, so that nothing goes into the, like I said, the landfills. I'm also looking into lighter weight. I'm using non-water dyed prints and fabrics that are dyed, all gas dyed. They're environmentally friendly. We're not polluting. And I'm also believing in. I'm making sure everything is a fair trade. The people that make my buttons are not 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and they're not getting paid 10 cents a week.
Okay.
They're getting paid enough.
You have conscious there. So.
Yes, yeah. And I'm also looking into making comfortable, easy to wear clothes that are fashionable and different with using these fabrics. I wish I had brought stuff. I didn't bring anything today to show.
Maybe
but
next time you bring so
I'll bring suitcases.
We can have a show.
I'm trying to make things that...
You see, I have plenty of suitcases here, so from all my collection. So I have the shoes, I have the hats, I have the dress, I have the whole thing. So
I'm actually trying to make very easy to wear, like the wrap dress online using the technologies.
How do you find your clients? How do you sell your fashion?
My high end is word of mouth.
So if you move out of New York, you have to start all over?
No, I can live anywhere on the planet. I choose New York because my customers come to New York. They come to shop.
So they go all.
They come to shop because we're so cheap.
Okay.
And they all have apartments here. They'll call me up, or I fly to them.
But how do they find you? Is that Instagram? It's something that you do. Do you have any special secret that you could share with the audience, like how to?
It's word of mouth. Honestly, it's word of mouth. When somebody wears something to a party, they'll say my name, or they won't say my name, but the picture goes up somewhere. They'll see it on Facebook. They'll see it on Instagram. They'll see it. It shows up somewhere.
Okay, and that picture will make a difference. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Lawrence, what's your social media? What's your...
Lawrence Pizzi, Pizzi, almost like pizza, or Lawrence Pizzi Collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady, as you remember, I've been modeling one of my fashion dresses for the bridal week that we just had in New York City. And you did a very nice interview. Even your father called me and wrote to me that he liked the interview. So now I know that he definitely supports you in your journey. And flying second time from Texas, it means a lot to me. So it means that I do know that you're interested in what we do here, and it's something that's inspiring for you. And even this time you brought your friend. Carol Ann.
Yes.
And you're an actress.
Yes.
So you probably maybe will act in one of our movies, and we have quite a few movie producers here today. So welcome to the crew.
Thank you.
Hopefully, once we're done, you can network with folks and get some good contacts. You already walked in a second ago and you model.
Yeah,
and,
I know. It was pretty cool.
So that was your first couple of seconds here.
Yeah.
Hopefully future will be better. Tell us why you came back.
I came back because I wanted to further talk about what we talked about in our first interview, just revolutionizing the fashion industry and bringing forth art and poetry into a world that is primarily built off of art, because fashion, again, is movement, it's passion, it is art.
Okay. Not that many people in today's audience know that you have, you and I come from two worlds that are very much fight to each other. I'm Jewish and you are Iranian, so we all look very Middle Eastern to the audience, but they don't understand how this difficult is a journey for someone of your background and even though you grew up here in the United States, and you've been told that you look more Italian than anything else, but still, how the culture of coming from Middle Eastern culture affects the fashion?
I believe Middle Eastern culture is very expressive, very culture explorative. I've realized more and more growing up in the Western society, monotone and just solid colors are very much on trend in the United States, at least. But if you look for Eastern inspiration, you'll see a lot of color, vibrancy, you'll see life in ways that isn't really that expressed over here. But in New York City, it is a melting pot. It's so many cultures coming together and wearing beautiful garments from their home countries, which is why I love New York so much, just because the celebration of culture is so prevalent here, which explains why it is the fashion hub of the century.
Okay, thank you. How come the Europeans are winning? We just had a fashion week, and a lot of brands exit New York Fashion Week towards Europe. What's going on?
I believe that Milan Fashion Week was very successful. Paris Fashion Week was also very successful. It also has to do with the
We're
sets.
so commercial. We're making so much money, but still, all the other fashion week, that's where the big designers go for.
Exactly.
They quit New York. Why?
Exactly. Well, because I think that the setting of Paris, for example, like YSL had a beautiful, beautiful fall-winter show, and the Eiffel Tower was its setting. So, of course, there's the attraction of the Eiffel Tower, the attraction of this beautiful European historical landmark.
European countries like Italy, France, they put quite tremendous of money from the government into the fashion, and it's very much not so much commercial enterprise as much as the government-sponsored enterprise for them.
Definitely.
And here in the States, we don't have that support.
The support of the government.
It has to be, whether you make it or not. We have plenty of money, but obviously, still, the government should maybe play a little bit bigger role, because so many jobs could be built around the fashion world.
Definitely.
You as actress also maybe can support my point. New York, we used to have so many movies here done, so much filming, and now Atlanta gave that much break, and all the productions are moving to Atlanta. All the businesses going there. Why New York losing those grounds?
I think Atlanta is becoming more widespread, and it's becoming more popular, and the business is like booming over there.
Why? They just gave the tax break, and all the filming companies building there. Why New York is behind?
I think New York is getting a little too populated. There's a lot of people moving over here.
We can build skyscrapers. New York is still.
I think they
space.
need to venture out and go to different states and just be more open, like around the world.
Entertainment industry tends to be in LA and New York. When you're talking about
that's
the United
2000s,
States.
last century. Nowadays with Instagram, it doesn't matter where are you. You can be in a little town, little village. You take a couple of pictures with your cell phone. If you have something to say and if you look pretty, the market loves you. You're gonna be mainstream.
Sure, but when it comes to networking and face-to-face meeting, just like being here face-to-face, seeing everyone on set and behind-the-scenes action, it's completely different IRL, because you're connecting, you're making those real-life connections and networking. So I believe that the entertainment industry is starting to spread from New York to different states, such as Atlanta.
So the personal touch and being in front of people, like physically close, that's still relevant. So
Very.
all the technology would not save that. Okay, I agree with that. Makes sense.
Definitely.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm sorry we didn't give you much time for the prep. Your flight kind of hold you up, but thank you still for such a long trip.
Thank you.
Remind the audience, what's your social media?
At Shandiz Sharif is my Twitter handle.
At Caroline Reddy is my Twitter. Yeah.
Twitter?
And Instagram.
Instagram.
And Instagram is _Shandiz_. It'll all be in the description below.
please allow me to introduce a model, a friend of mine, artist, musician, painter, poet, Alyona. What happened is a few weeks ago, a friend of mine, Sergei Ivanov, a famous photographer from Ukraine, came over to do the workshop about fairy tale photography. And I had a great honor to help him out to find the locations, the models, the space, and some other makeup and hair props. So I was graced with Alyona as one of our models, and Alyona did an amazing job there. Pardon me for my voice, I get a little sick this morning, but I'll try to make it through the day with you guys. Alyona is a very nice person, and today Alyona is helping me out with my production as a floor manager on the set, and hopefully we'll hear a little bit about what Alyona does and why she does it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I came from Ukraine too. That's why I had a big honor to work with Ivanov, and I was like, oh my God, it's like a miracle for me to be there.
Did you like his pictures?
Yeah, I like it so much. I didn't see
Did you see pictures that I did with you? Was it better?
Yeah, it was so unbelievable to see me. Like, I saw your work that you sent me.
Before and after. I was obviously a good, decent photographer, I would say, but after Sergei, my photography, I'm pretty sure, went up a niche.
Yeah,
so I felt advice.
I had a chance to see a little bit of the presentation of his like Photoshop tools, and also I like photography. I like to take pictures, but I don't want to take it like simple shots.
You do it on both sides.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's so much to learn about. And for now, I try to apply these skills that I learned.
Did you like, I don't know if you got a chance to see the video that we shot here last time with a Ukrainian singer from the streets and a couple of my models?
Oh yeah, it was so unbelievable.
You liked it? Because I got a lot of bad press about it. A lot of people, yes, a lot of people hate it.
Why?
And the reason, the song is very serious. The song is about love and the fights between Ukrainian brothers and sisters.
Yes.
It's very tough Ukrainian song about the Lugansk, and you know what's going on back home.
Of course.
Then and at the same time, I'm showing beautiful but African American models, and I'm showing the production here, so people don't get the analogy that the world going on and everything is moving, and people still living their life, and at the same time in Ukraine, terrible things are taking place, and no one pays attention. So in order for me to bring light to a tough problem like that, I had to take beautiful models and do something totally different. So once they're watching beautiful girls, but I get to them the message what's taking place in Ukraine. Otherwise, they don't listen.
Yeah.
I had the same video with that guy with no models and no views. No one cares.
From my side, I totally support you with that, and I don't know why people hate it. It's insane for me because
they thought it's offensive because there are people dying, and I'm showing African American girls dancing and singing. So at the same, they don't think that I can bring those two worlds together. I cannot use the fashion and the love and beauty to put light on the serious problem.
I think you have like a good vision. I like that you made this comparison between like black models and this singer that was singing in Ukrainian language, and it's like hello people, look, we are united, we all are the same. And no matter what, we are all brothers and sisters. That's what I like about your video.
Yeah,
It's like a big
Ukrainian
message.
and Russians are fighting
Yes.
with each other there in Lugansk, and just whether you're Ukrainian or
Although
American,
we
people are
always
people.
were together.
So they don't get the analogy. A lot of folks
Yeah.
didn't like it, but hopefully, eventually, maybe once they get the message, they might accept it. Okay.
I seriously came to thank you for that video because the moment that I left from Ukraine, it was exactly on the time when the war starts. I was just afraid to stay there anymore, so I was looking for a better life, let's say.
The only guy who really liked that, I have a friend of mine who lost 3 brothers in that war.
Oh my goodness.
And he could not, he was trying to raise some money for the family, for the relatives, and he was not able to get any support from anybody basically. And that guy told me, listen, you have to do whatever it takes to bring light, and it's a much bigger problem. It's not just Lugansk and Ukraine and Russia. It can be World War. It can be much
Yes,
serious
of
things. So
course.
if you think this is just between Russians and Ukraine, that's much bigger conflict. It has much broader approach. By you bringing other Ruben and the African American folks in the picture, you kind of bringing other folks to pay attention to this, because they look at the girls, they pay attention to beautiful models, and then they start researching what the song is about. So otherwise they would not listen. And the song is beautiful. I think
it's so beautiful.
I met the guy on the subway. He literally no papers, nothing. He just sings on subway whatever he collects charity. That's what he eats. He lives with a family of raccoons. He cannot have the pets in his place, so he gave little treats, whatever he sometimes people give him in subway food, and it's eaten, and he kind of shy, afraid to eat after someone else.
And
So he gives it to the family, but his pets actually literal family of raccoons. So he showed me, he lives not that far from me, in Brighton Beach. So he literally have those raccoons coming for dinner to him. So whatever people give him on subway, if he doesn't eat it, raccoons eat it.
He's a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for having me today.
We have spoke about rap earlier today, and now we have a beautiful rap artist named Shaw Wallace. Hello.
Hi.
Shaw Wallace comes from a very cool reference from her cousin Travis. So Travis shot with us last time, and he was graceful enough to bring more of his crew. And now that I see that he brought his family with him, it means that a world to me. So it means that he really put his heart into this. Thank you so much for supporting your family.
Thank you for having
me. Thank you for coming. How do you like this space? How do you like
I love it. It's really cool.
Okay. Hope that we can maybe record a couple of music videos with you here.
Yes, I can't wait to work
we
with
have
you guys.
a nice studio today, the loft and the green room and the diner set and the makeup set, so we can see how kind of behind the scene, and this of course this show set. Tell me a little bit about your rap.
Well, it's hardcore, it's raw, it taps into the hood concept of growing up in the ghetto, you would say, sexual. I'm very in tune with my sexuality. I'm not afraid to express myself. A lot of people critique me for that, but I'm human. Everyone has sex. And I just like to, that's how I express myself. And
rap is very much a men's world in some way. A lot of rap artists are males, and now the world is changing, and there are more female artists like yourself is coming up and become popular. Do you think the culture will change with that?
Yeah, I think it's actually changing right now. I think the women are being more accepted as rap artists. you seeing more talented women beyond the breast and the boobs and the pretty face. So it's more, you know, I think we're getting there now.
What do you think it will look like, rapping will look like in 10, 20 years from now?
Oh my God,
Is it gonna be different?
It's gonna be so different. I could just see a big difference in it right now. Like, I don't think it's gonna take that long actually. 10 to 20 years.
Something will change every minute.
It does change every minute.
If you look in the future, certain styles kind of go down and certain styles are still popular. Let's say you're young. Rap is very young, so when you will be 40, 60, can you still rap or it's out of age?
Oh no, I'm still gonna rap.
Are you still gonna rap?
Yeah, just give me my cane and I'm gonna rap with the cane in my hand.
Let's talk about money behind rap artists. A lot of musicians been funded by not so legit sources like drug dealers and like kind of you know, gangster money. And at some point, rap artists who made it big become corporate and do you know, national stage. And how do you transition and how you avoid staying in contact?
I mean, I think that's definitely, like I said, coming from the hood and knowing that it's a way to rinse money. It's a way to make dirty money clean money. It's like the big dude in the hood that sells the most drugs and he sees a guy that raps. He don't rap and he say, hey, can I invest in you? And it's more of an investment.
Is there are other rap artists who have nothing to do with drugs, nothing to do with anything that's
of
like
course.
clean rap artists?
It's clean rap artists, but they also rap as if they sold drugs before and they never did. It's just a way to get in touch with fans. Because everybody this day and age want to basically be known as a pill popper. I sell drugs. I murdered this person. I did that. But right now in this day and age, it's more about just drugs. It's not everybody Molly, Percocet, stuff of that nature. So everybody is not you know, coming from dirty money in the rap industry for sure.
How do they get their funding? What do they do?
Well, I know what I do. I hustle hard. Any dollar I make, I get it from, like, if for family, my brother, for instance, he's a stylist on movies. He'll lend me some money to pay for studio time. Okay.
You don't need that much studio time sometimes.
Sometimes you don't.
You get places like YouTube Space or like a free speech. Like we have, I'm in Brooklyn, so we have Brooklyn Art Media Center, which is free. But I told Travis there is the same one here in Bronx.
Well, this is the thing. Everybody don't have those connections.
You don't need connections. It's free. It's you just
listen. Like, okay, so you know how we know Travis. Somebody might not know a Travis. So they have to borrow the money or they have to sell a little bit of weed or a little bit of drugs to go and pay for studio time. The people I know.
But if you tell the audience, you don't have to sell weed.
You don't have to
do none of the illegal stuff. All you do is just apply. You have some following. You get a studio here, or you go in get studio in the public access TV. And you don't have to.
It sounds wonderful.
Audience.
It sounds so great. The way you're saying it, it does sound wonderful.
We just had the politician who told us right in front of you.
Do the politician live in Brownsville?
Yes.
No, he don't.
Yeah, that's that guy. No, where is that guy? Bronx.
Okay, see, so that's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is I understand that you could come to the YouTube and it's free access to stuff, but everyone don't have that connection. So sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get where you have to go.
So
in
you
life.
think it's justified?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
I won't say it's the right thing to do, but honestly, just being real with you and being honest.
I don't know what's about this fly. I don't know if we can catch this fly on the camera, but it's there.
But I'm not saying it's justified, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's just a way of life for people to get by and get where they have to go, just so they won't have to do that anymore.
Okay. When you don't have representation, you do everything yourself.
I do everything myself.
In today's world with Instagram and the new media tools that are available at your cell phone, your tips with your cell phone, you can control a lot of things on your own. What do you do to get things done? How do you measure?
Well, as long as you do have people have smartphones. You have what is it called? Good garage band, guitar band. It's something where people could record on their phones and stuff like that.
No, like, how do you negotiate your deals? Like, how do you, like...
how I purchase my beats and things of that nature. Well, basically, producers would hear me on YouTube.
Okay.
I have a lot of songs on YouTube, and they would see my music or they'd see me perform, and they'd contact me through email, and they say, "Hey, I have some beats for you," and it ranged from different prices. So I might be in a price range where I can't purchase the $500 beat, but I'll make the $30 beat work for me. It's basically about compromising and knowing where you're at. So if you say, let me get this $500 beat, because I'm gonna work this shit. I'm gonna basically.
And what do you do next, or how do you?
So listen, you get the $500 beat. You gotta believe in that because it costs $500. You're gonna make a single with that. You're gonna record next in the studio. You're gonna be out in the streets selling it. You're gonna promote it. You're gonna do shows. And it goes on from there.
And after this, like, how do you make money after this?
Well, you could put it on basically the selling. What is this?
Like iTunes.
You could put it on iTunes and what's the other one?
Live performances. That's what
you could do. Live performances.
Most. Do you do like a live YouTube? Like, or do you use your camera to record yourself live?
Well, actually, I have my cousin will perform me, will record me doing songs, and I'll put it on YouTube, and then they'll contact me and say, "Hey, I want you to do a show for me. How much do you charge?" And we go on like that.
Okay.
Basically business.
What's your Instagram?
Show Wallace, SHO_Wallace, WALLACE.
Since I'm pretty sure this interview will be edited by Travis himself, so we'll have the subtitles for you in a large print.
Yeah, Show Wallace.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please listen to Show Wallace beats and rap, and hopefully you get some following out of this.
Oh, thank you
for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Goldberg, filmmaker, I believe producer as well, right? Why do you do what you do? Why do you do filmmaking?
I do what I do to tell stories. I do what I do to...
You can tell stories at the bad time to your brothers and sisters. Why do you do it as a filmmaker?
I do it as a filmmaker to show them the stories and not just tell them the stories, actually. You know, there's... My brother or sister going to the bathroom, like, sure, I could tell a story about my sister taking a massive dump, but I could also film it in a way that's artful and kind of get the whole scope of the dump, you know, like film around it and do great things with it and then show people what it was like to go through that situation. So there's a difference between telling a story and showing someone a story, and that's where I think filmmaking kind of wraps that all into one.
Wow, you would love what's coming next. I saw just a new movie, and it has scent. So they have big fans.
Yeah.
And so if you are at the ocean, you would feel the breeze. And let's say you go to the horse riding place, you would smell the horses and so all those. So it's another dimension for you to show when you show the dope or
smell. It's a sense. I think the senses are
that improves the theater big time. I don't know if everybody wants to smell exactly what's on screen.
I think everyone secretly does.
But it's I think it's what's the future for you? What do you think for the filmmaking?
What is the future of filmmaking? Now that there's
Are we gonna shoot everything on phone in the future?
Right.
Is it like we're gonna have like fancy red dragon cameras? Like what?
Listen,
what's coming?
I've been in film school and I have seen kids that are like, oh, I have to have this big red fancy camera. I have to have this and this and this. But some of my best videos I have shot on my iPhone in slow motion because slow motion on the iPhone gives that. Am I not supposed to promote the iPhone? Like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Slow motion on the iPhone gives that really cinematic results so that and you can put that in a video as well, and then you're not handling huge bundles of footage, so you can kind of just make that video and put it out there in the universe, and it's made and it's there and it's still beautiful because filmmaking isn't about just that, you know, professional look. Like, it's just about telling the story no matter what kind of camera you're using.
how do you find the money for the filmmaking?
Daddy's pocket. I mean, no, I mean, like, I'm trying to wean off of daddy's pocket, you know, and it's hard as a college kid that wants to make movies. Like, I'm gonna fund myself for dinner. I'm gonna get, you know, dinner one night, but I also want like a huge camera to produce a film the next day. It's not easy, but if you put your eggs in a basket that you're passionate about, you say, I want that basket, then you can make sacrifices in your life for what you want. So, you know, I might not go to the store and get a nice platter of sushi, but I'll buy myself a camera.
I understand you like to tell stories, but there are writers, there are other ways to like visual stories. Why this? Not something? Why not become a doctor, a lawyer? Why this competitive industry?
Ever since I was 10 years old, I picked up a camera and I shot my friends for fun. Like, that's what we did after school. Why this? Because I've always been passionate about it, you know? I've always thought, you following your heart is not a crime. It's not a bad thing.
Have you ever modeled?
Have I ever modeled?
Yes.
Occasionally I model, yeah, but I mean, not really, no. I'm not a model.
Do you see if being a model, does it help you to be a filmmaker? If you've been in front of lens and behind the lens, would that make a difference? Or just looking at the perspective as a filmmaker?
You're talking about spectacle. Now, spectacle, you can be the spectacle, or you can be the observer, or even the creator. And when you're in front of the camera, you're a spectacle, and I like kind of creating that spectacle rather than being the spectacle, although right now I am the spectacle, and I'm A-okay with it. So that's good.
Maddie, being a filmmaker and being a female at the same time, what are the challenges there? Is there an advantage or it's a disadvantage?
It depends on the way you look at it. How I look at it, it's a male-driven industry, and you can either let that tear you down and let that barricade you from the real filmmaking world. And
you said right now, is it changing? It's going to be a female industry in 5-10 years?
It's definitely never going to be a female industry in any sense of the word ever, I don't think. But there will be more female. Why? Because this industry is run by men, and that's how it's been for years. But you can use male privilege.
Nothing lasts forever. I'm Jewish, and I know, you know.
High five, me too.
And things, you know, changing. So it's not always one way. It used to be the money being run by a male guy, and now most of the funds are controlled by females. So it could be also in the film industry. You can actually look at the way you portray, and the female part of you might actually get more viewers on that side.
Right. I was, you know, say I went to shoot a music video the other night and be in it rather than behind the camera, and like that, women are viewed in this industry as objects to look at.
So objectified.
We are objectified. I am essentially, like, whether I like to think it or not, being objectified right now. I am. And you can either accept that,
but you're a strong American girl, woman. You're comfortable to, you know, you have a word. You having your own films. It takes guts. So a lot of people don't have the guts to do what you do. Where it's come from? They don't have
the guts, or they've been told their whole life that is not an actual career path. If that's something they're passionate about, people that aren't really putting themselves out there and doing it right now, they have been told their whole life that there's no money in filmmaking, there's no money in photography. I know that those people out there have a burning passion to do it, and honestly, with the internet these days and with media, all you have to do is do it. Get out there. Like, I came here today, I just put myself here. Like, no one told me to.
Do you like this
I love
space
it.
we're here?
Yeah, gorgeous, beautiful space. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Maddie Goldberg. What's your social media? What's your?
You can get me on Maddie Goldberg on Instagram.
Instagram
right now.
Is the best place?
Maddie Goldberg. That's it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Nice to thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful lady is not a model. Actually, she is a makeup artist and songwriter. Yeah. Makeup artist by trade and songwriter by soil, as far as I understand.
Right.
Why do you do songwriting?
Well, honestly, my father passed away when I was 8 years old.
Oh, my condolences.
Thanks. But I feel like after he passed away, we stopped doing creative things. Like, we, as in me and my sister. Me and my sister, we used to draw with my father. We used to write with my father. My father was the only creative one. After he died, my mom didn't want to take us out. She didn't want to do anything. So I felt like I lost that creative sense in myself.
So music helps you to grieve, or?
Writing. Writing, yeah.
Writing.
Yeah, writing my experiences.
So that gets you the expression. But, okay, that's how you started. But why you keep doing this? Like grief, at some point, scars on soul, like on the heart, kind of seal. But you keep doing it, right?
Because it's not just me. It's not just what I go through. There's a bunch of problems in this world. If I'm writing something, yeah, I can write about how I feel, but there are other people going through different things. When I write, I'm not just writing about things that I've been through. I write about things that maybe somebody else is going through, you know?
Okay.
So
you would like perhaps to have your song being associated with big names and famous singers. What steps people can take to find
I want my
artist?
I want my songs to be sung by people who see my vision.
Okay.
I don't care if the person's big or not. Like, yeah, that would be great. I mean, because the money's there. But I want somebody to see what I see.
I see. So it has to be a similar vision.
It has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you find personally that? Is that just words, I see your vision, or it's like, how do you know who is soulmate and who share the vision?
I feel like I see it when they're listening to what I'm saying. When you tell somebody something and you're talking to them, you can already tell if that person doesn't care about what you have to say. You can already tell if that person is confused by what you have to say. You can already tell if that person has somewhere to go. You can tell. You can tell. You speak and you see.
You see in their eyes.
I just feel it. I just know.
Why do you do makeup artist work?
I was always good at it, and when I was a kid, I didn't really have much friends, so makeup was something that I found that I could just do on my own time, since I didn't have friends to really hang out with, go out and play with. I'm like, all right, let me just pick up this makeup. My aunt always used to come over with her little makeup bag, and I would just play around in it, and it just became a thing.
Okay. In 2 weeks from now, we're shooting the makeup show. Maybe you can come and help
Maybe
us
I
out.
can.
We'll have guys like me. I'm taking makeup classes. I don't know if you know.
Oh, you are?
Yes. I'm a photographer, so sometimes on a set when I have to do the fix the model, or like on a bridal production, bride have she's running around and she's sweating. I have to fix the way she looks. So it's a useful skill to have. It's also helpful like as a photographer. So instead of, let's say, a makeup artist booked for the shoot, and let's say they don't show up,
right,
I can always do it myself. So
quick touch up, yeah.
You saw the makeup set. All this makeup, it's mine. So it's all my
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's all mine.
You're pretty versatile yourself. I think you need to interview yourself, because you yourself are a talent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's look into the. Okay, interview me. Tell me, what would you like to know about me?
Why do you like to know about what other people have to offer, and what makes you so interested in other people when there's so much interesting things about yourself from what I see? Because I feel it, like I told you, I feel these things.
Being interested in other folks is a way of making yourself different, learn about other perspectives. So it gives me a platform, opportunity to ask questions that I'm interested. Otherwise, like people would walk away, but with the camera kind of can hold you and the audience. So I get to ask questions and get quite honest answers. So having those slides and having that set, it's
it
really
opens your mind. Yeah.
It's really something that makes me think myself. So when I do different events and different productions, those questions kind of help me to put my mind over certain problems. I don't have all the answers, so
Yeah.
I always having interesting people coming aboard and share with me. That's kind of broadened my horizons in that sense.
I love that. This guy's great. This guy's great.
One of my characters is, his name is Mr. Great, and he has quite a bit of alter ego. He's very similar to Trump in that sense. So he's.
Well, what does that mean?
Mr. Great, it's. I'm very on the production set. I'm very offensive, rude, and narcissistic, and kind of have those traits. And the other part of that character is very similar to Borat. If you saw Borat from the Kazakhstan, so I have this heavy Russian accent, and I ask those stupid questions like Borat.
Can you say my wife? My wife?
I don't have the board, but it's just part of the character. It's part of the alter
I get
ego.
it.
And the third part is the Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. If you ever watch that show,
Yeah, Shark Tank.
He's Mr. Wonderful and Mr. Great. So that's the analogies. I'm being a wealthy person, so I'm also have that kind of connotation that not me, the character Mr. Great.
Yeah.
That money can buy happiness and have that very kind of villain look on the side. It allows my audience to shine. So I have a contrast of me being an asshole and a really bad guy.
Yeah.
And you being portray, have you on pedestal as a beautiful and nice and pleasant lady.
I really love the fact that you do that, because the fact that you sit here and you interview these people and you get to know them when there's so much you can just be saying about yourself. Look at what you are,
Okay.
I really appreciate that. No, you don't,
Thank you.
Look, this is somebody who doesn't really appreciate themselves as they should. You're just like shrugging off my compliment.
No,
So you have to feel it. Do you feel it?
Yes, yes, I am. It's been a little bit a long day of interviews for me, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed. We're kind of ready to break the set. So, but I'm so grateful that out of all the interviews, at last I get someone interview me. So thank you so much.
I'm so glad I did.
Remind your social media.
My social media is deactivated, but you can find me on Facebook at Tatina Rosario. It's not really at, but my name is Tatina Rosario, so you can find me there.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of Travis, we have Veronica here. And Veronica has a very unusual business. I never heard of that kind of business before. Tell us a little bit, what do you do?
So I started a company recently that's basically runs different projects to help to create experiences and opportunities for people who normally wouldn't be exposed to such things. So basically, the mission is to change the definition of work for people.
And you have experience being an HR person for so many years.
Yeah, I've been in HR for about 11 years.
And what makes you change or be entrepreneur now?
I think I've always been entrepreneurial because I never really liked having a job or being an employee. I actually got into HR because I didn't like HR and I wanted to try to learn more about it so I could be a better influence to change the way that
what
people
kind of
hire.
events you do?
Currently, I'm working on planning a series of events for urban youth, grades 6 through 12, to try to teach them basic coding skills through hip-hop culture so they can use a form of expression that they're already familiar with to be motivated about learning technical skills that they don't already have exposure to in the school system that they're in.
Interesting. What's your social media?
At Veronica Ludwig. Ludwig, like the drums.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's late at the day, but hopefully if you have more questions for Veronica, this is the social media that you can reach out and hopefully
Yeah, and if you want to learn more
answer.
about the youth programs, social media would be at Blue1647.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Green is here. Rob is been a tremendous help in the last couple of weeks for me. Rob came highly recommended by Travis. So Travis came to the show last couple of weeks ago, and then he brought his partner Robert. And Robert was very quiet when he came in. We edited a couple of things. Well, actually one thing. The video for the Ukrainian guy. So you basically came in, you had no clue what the guy was singing.
At all.
In Ukrainian, of course, and you just saw the footage that the Travis and I got for us, and
worked with it.
And everybody loves the video. So as far as the editing, I commend you. That it's amazing with this little camera that's like 5-7 year old, and that Sony camera. That's all that footage done with this little camera, and you did a pretty decent job. Which do you like better? Did you like this stuff that we shot at the loft, or the parts that we filmed in this studio?
It was a mixture of both. I mean, both.
Like, I know you showed both, but which one you like better? Which one was?
It would have to be in this room.
This room,
right? Right.
What
just
was,
more vibrant, light.
How did you decide what goes after what? Like, how do you set up your editing?
Well, basically, I've only been in production for a year. Just graduated from City College, just to give a little background. But with the editing...
You don't have to be modest like that. Like, you have a talent, obviously.
Right.
People young and they produce amazing stuff. We have producers who are like 15, 16 years old, and they have millions of followers.
Right.
So
I've just always been a humble, modest. I just let the craft speak for itself.
We see in your craft,
right? But with editing, you have to have the feel for it. You have to, even though I didn't understand the lyrics that was being said, the instruments, the sound made it easier for me to process what clips that I want.
How did you pick the shots? Like, I gave you 3.5 hours of footage.
Right.
You picked out of this 3.5 hours, 2.5 minutes of the footage. So like,
as somebody who likes visuals and prides themselves on how visuals come out, when I edit, I look at it as, would I want this scene in my video, or would I like to see this?
Like the balance, like beautiful models, or the like Ruben, me, and Travis in the picture.
Right.
How do you make a decision what goes in, what's in the cut? How do you tell a story?
So basically, with this song that we did, like I said, I couldn't understand the lyrics. So basically, we had to start off with the sound. So from the sound, if it's sad tempo or a sad instrument, it might start off slow. Some scenes might go
wide
longer.
angle pictures coming first, or the close-ups. Like, how do you choose what goes after?
Well, photos for one.
Photos being
I'm always my style is put the photos last.
I saw that.
Put the photos last. Show the scenes first, and show the outcome.
I see.
Show the last part of every process. As you've seen, it was 7 photos at the end. But when you're watching those photos, you're like, oh, that's what the extra guy was doing with the camera. Or this is what it really looks like.
You're starting a new company with Travis. Tell us a little bit about your new company.
So basically, it's Hidden Gem. We just came up with the name. We've been through about 3 or 4 names already. And basically, we're starting a company with artists, people who want to be artists, but just don't have the platform to take it to that next level.
Okay.
So what we do, and what I feel the best way to promote people, is through visuals. Social media is a big thing now. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Everybody's watching visuals. Visuals can't be longer than probably 30 seconds before somebody loses their interest in it. So with this, push out content consistently.
Today I have booked 5 different studios. This is one, green room next to it, and makeup and hair set, and the diner and the loft. Which one do you want to shoot today? Okay, you want to do your own video today?
We could do loft.
Loft? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
That green room is nice too.
So the footage that's coming out of the loft is a courtesy of Raw Production today. And hopefully, once the music videos will come out, you can see not only his editing skills but also his filmmaking and direction.
It's been a pleasure working with you too. Alex taking me under the wing, just showing me the ropes. You know, I'm still trying to get my foot in the door. I know you have a lot of experience in this field, so
I'm trying to learn. Every day is a new day, and
right. Listen, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
But I think what we shot before and what we shoot now and what I'm planning to shoot in future, it add more complexity and interest. So we will the numbers. I think the quality will go up and the numbers will go up. So I measure us on a number of different layers. So I want to like it myself, and I also want the audience to listen to the feedback. So if you have some feedback, what we can improve or change, I would be grateful. So it would be helpful to Rob and me. So our production in the future will get better. Thank you. More and more filmmakers coming to our set, and now we have Nick. Nick is, as you can see, by the way he sits, he's a filmmaker.
Yeah, let me just really get in position then if you really want me.
So, Nick, how do you get to produce a big movie? What's there?
Well, it all starts with the idea. The idea is the most important part of any kind of art in general.
How do you measure those ideas? Which one is a big movie idea? Which one is a trashy movie that has like a couple of views?
Well, I mean, you got to look at what's going on in today's world. That's what's really important. Like, you got to find a message that you can find for yourself and that the audience will connect to at the same time.
Shakespeare is relevant today and tomorrow.
Well, Shakespeare has messages that actually matter, yeah.
So whether it's today world or future, how do you find the idea that lasts over when we're not here? It will still be shown.
Well, definitely, it comes from yourself.
Charlie Chaplin been 100 years ago, and I still watch his movies.
Yeah, of course.
Get my points.
It's all about making something that's thought-provoking. That's the key. Too. It really matters to produce something that someone's going to sit down, they're going to watch it, and they're going to think about it after. It's not just going to be there. It's not just going to be an emotion that they just throw out and then audience watches it and then they leave. No, they need to like walk away with it. So to make a big movie, you need to have a big idea that's going to be thought-provoking for an audience, that's going to make them actually, do something. You get a lot of movies today that are a representation of like our media or our, even our government. And
what is your walk away today? Let's say you don't you came to my production. Travis introduced you to me and what I do, and you seen the space, you seen the studios, you seen how we work. What do you think? Thoughts and how do you feel? What do you feel when you go home? What are you gonna feel?
Well, you go to war. You go to war when you make projects like these. It's filled with conflicts. You're gonna butt heads with people. You're gonna find out that what you wanted originally isn't gonna happen, and you're gonna have to adapt right then and there on the spot. It's film Darwinism in a way. It really is. It's like you have to think on your feet, and you have no choice but to go down the path that you originally desired, but it's gonna be different. You're gonna see different things. When you make a project, you're gonna make shots that you didn't realize were gonna be in the original cut, or perhaps you had a shot and you can't do it on set. It's too difficult.
You're a young guy, but you're a filmmaker, so you have a crew.
Yeah.
How do you control everybody? It's supposed to be like an army, and the producer coming down, and there are so many creative folks, and the crew, and everybody have their own thoughts and ideas, and partners, and the investors, and the audience. How do you make it all?
Let me tell you, it's definitely one of the hardest things anyone can do, because you're working with photographers, DPs.
You control them.
Yeah, of course. You have to kind of contrast with them. You have to You know, like I'll have idea A, my actor will have idea B, and we create idea C. My DP and I will have an idea that, or I'll have an idea for my DP, and then he or she will be like, well, what about this? And I'll be like, well, that actually works better than what I thought before. So most of the time,
so you're accepting other.
You have to accept other ideas,
Okay.
but not necessarily make them, actually process them. You're gonna create an idea with their idea. It's like it's a collaborative effort. It really is.
Okay. There are, like you said, there are so many conflicts in the movies, and you go to war.
Actors are very difficult. They're very difficult. You have to sit down with them, and if you are a nosy director like myself that needs to have everything done, in a certain way to where it will come out as a great project, and the actor keeps trying to give you something that you nor the crew nor anyone else that's working on the production wants, you have to sit down with them very calmly and look at them and be like, hey, I need you to do it this way for me. I want to pull this from you. This is what the scene is going to actually convey. But actors are very hard to work with, which is why I did acting for a very long period of time. So when I did end up directing, I could, have their perspective in a way. But then again, everyone is different. Everyone has their own methods. And so you kind of need to sit down with the person before you actually cast them, or whether that be an audition or just a reading. You gotta know how vulnerable they can make themselves, and that's very important.
When you go to war, people cheat, people do different.
Oh yeah, cut
different
corners.
things.
Yeah.
But movie making business is mostly about honor. It's about novelty. It's about making something future. How those two things go together. There is industry where everybody's kind of stabbing everybody's in the back, almost like music industry.
Yeah.
But on the other side, we're creating something beautiful and interesting.
Yeah, I think it's very important for filmmakers to remember that it's not about, the money. It's really about
Why
your
money
own
is not
succession.
money
Because
is not important.
I mean, it is to fund it, but it's not important when it comes to making your right career choice. Like, I know who I need to surround myself with in order to, expel my career in better places. I think it's very important.
So you look at this as the way of funding it, making an art, but not necessarily a commercial.
I can never advertise something that won't actually give people a thought-provoking idea to do something. I can't do advertisements. That's not my thing. It's
okay.
But I think every
so
filmmaker
what's the ethics versus moral?
they all have different ethics. But if you originally go by what Charlie Chaplin, as you mentioned earlier, did, was he wanted to make people laugh. That was his goal, and he had his own vision, and that vision that he used made people laugh. And it's very important
But he
to
did
not
what's
lose it.
interesting for him, and he makes lots of money.
Yeah.
He was commercially very successful. So
Well, I mean, he was commercially
money-wise,
successful,
He's making
but-
money even now. He's not here, but his family is well taken
He
care
had
of.
so many people breathing down his neck. He ended up getting kicked out of America for being accused of being a communist, and that's because he had his own vision. He had his own ideas, and he used those ideas, and people gave him slack for it. But guess what? He didn't care. He kept doing his thing in Europe. He never went back to the U.S. And then after he passed away, he won an honorary Oscar for it. So, I mean, I think that says it enough. If you're an artist, you'll always find a way to create. You'll never not be creating if you're a real artist.
Okay. May I ask, what's your Instagram?
I'm the Wild Kennedy.
Okay. The
Wild Kennedy. Yeah,
Okay.
you can follow me on Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to hire that filmmaker for you, or would like to be an actor in his films, perhaps that's interesting filmmaker to be in contact with. Thank you so much for coming. Maybe we can produce something together.
Oh, for sure.
I have a couple of more shoots coming up, and I have a couple of films in production. I don't know if you saw my previous films, but I'll be glad to look forward. Maybe we can find something interesting.
Great. Awesome. I'm excited.
Ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of Travis, Pooja. Pooja is a marketing expert, social media expert, and content expert. Not so much, but I would say, you're still internship, but you know something about it.
I know a little bit.
And you're gonna know more about it, and young people rule, and hopefully you would be able to do great things. Tell us a little bit how to get great footage, how to get great marketing. What's the key?
Oh, yeah, so the place I actually work at right now, it's called Spotted Media. We essentially keep track of different brands that different celebrities are wearing.
How do you keep track? Like, you go literally watching them, or like how do you...
So we have memberships with different paparazzi platforms. So we by default will, like, they send us pictures every single day, and then we have certain interns who keep track of celebrity Instagram accounts. We find it off of Facebook. We do Snapchat videos. So we use like all the different social media platforms to keep track of what companies they're endorsing, which companies are paying them to wear a certain outfit.
And why this data is important?
Because we use it to like study the market, to understand like the endorsement, like how people decide which celebrities should wear which brands, and it helps the companies essentially know which celebrities they should be targeting. So if, for example, if you were Nike, you can log in and we would tell you, oh, like these celebrities have been endorsing Puma this past week. That's probably not ideal for you, whereas we've tracked all these other celebrities are naturally endorsing you. It's free marketing for you guys, and you don't even have to pay them. We help you decide who to endorse, what deals you want to make, how much they're worth.
But there is a reason why they endorse Puma. If they are popular, and if someone snatch a great artist, let's say Elvis Presley or Madonna, like someone famous, it doesn't mean that now you cannot target the same artist and you have to go elsewhere. That you're supposed to actually fight for the talent, right?
Right. So there's also different aspects of it. So you get the free marketing off of celebrities who are just naturally wearing your brands, and then we also dig into...
But the moment you start using those pictures, don't they want some kind of royalties and get paid for that?
So our company helps make those endorsements, and we help make the deals with celebrities.
Once it's already on them, it's kind of easier than to make them wear it. That's what I see.
Right, and then we also just tie into like what their personas are, what their image is. So we keep track of whether they're like rising or they're dropping in social media. Have they been in like
But how do
legal
you
issues?
measure whether they're rising or not? Like, are you getting their numbers from the past and now, like, or what's?
Yep. So we track like how many followers they have, how often people are looking at their content, how many times they're getting liked, and we also study like their interactions. So whether or not people are commenting and like making the effort to like keep in touch with them. And then we also track how many news articles they're being tagged
the
in.
quality, someone might have a huge audience, but can do really, really cheap content and no one buys it. Someone might have very small audience and small niche market, but the people who follow him may be extremely wealthy or extremely influential.
Right.
So how do you measure those two things together?
So we have our little computer scientist who kind of weighs everything out and decides what's worth more than the other. For example, if one of the celebrities got into a legal issue, got into a car accident, or something happened at a local bar, we weigh that in more compared to, oh, they gained 20 more followers on Instagram.
My question is, if, let's say, Mark Cuban or Kevin O'Leary, like big famous people, how do you know who they follow? If Kevin O'Leary is a fan of someone, or Mark Cuban, or like whatever Madonna is celebrity or following someone, that's an important follower. Let's say you can have 1,000 of other people follow someone else, but one following from Madonna is much more valuable. How do you know who they follow?
So there's different apps that you can use, and we have different people in the company with different connections, but through a lot of apps, you're able to track who follows your pictures and who's not. So you can download it on your phone, and if you log into your Instagram account, tomorrow it'll tell you, for example, Travis stopped following you. So it's not going to give you a reason why, but you're going to get a notification that, oh, these many people dropped following you, these many people rise, and then it calculates your average on how many times people are following you, how many times people are liking, and it essentially tells you each person on average likes this many pictures a week on what you're posting.
Okay, and all that data translates into money.
Does turn into money, yeah.
How do you create a great content?
So it's a very like long process. It's kind of lengthy because you have like a sit down with the client. You have to understand what their buyer persona is, what their target market is, what they really want to sell. And then we have to study it also from the celebrity's perspective. We have one person in the company who strictly works with their agents.
So you have to really understand what the celebrity wants their image to be and understand what the client wants their image to be. And we kind of just use both sides of the perspectives to create that content so both sides are happy and there's no issues. And then both sides also benefit as well.
And your impact, like who pays for all the work that you have? Huge staff. You have not just $10, $15 employees an hour. You have it's very wealthy and expensive to have people with that kind of brain power to work. How do you justify all that expense? Like how much money you have to produce in order to justify that kind of labor?
So there's actually a quote or a saying that's been going around that you always need $1 million plus in order to start a company. The company I'm with right now, it's only been about 2 years, and I know that we originally started with a $5 million like donation from different people who really invested in the idea and like thought we were doing the right work. And then actually our CEO and our CFO, a lot of their friends like from school and stuff naturally volunteered to start working. I personally joined because I really care about like what they're doing and I think it's going to be effective, so I might not make the best of money, but everyone there has a purpose. And even though we might not be making hundreds of thousands of dollars now, we know somewhere in the future it's going to pick up. And like that's just how you work. Like you study the market and you see what they really need and you find that gap. And once you find the gap, it might take you some time to like own the market, but you get there eventually.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions about marketing, social media and content, Pooja probably would be your best bet. May I ask what's your social media, like Instagram?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Poodist101, so POODIST101, and it's the same thing on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Joseph Charles with us.
Yes, Charlie.
Joseph Charlie, pardon me. And Joseph comes as a friend of Travis. Travis shot with us last week here at Space, and he was quite impressed with the space, so he brought a whole crew, like Robert and some of his other friends. And you're one of his crew members.
Yes.
And I've been told that you would like to be a photographer, like Travis. Why do you like to be a photography?
Well, Travis, when I first met Travis, he asked me, have I ever taken pictures before? As in, well, the first way I took it is, have I ever taken pictures myself before? But what he meant is, have I ever modeled before? As in, get my pictures taken by someone before.
You model for him.
So, yeah,
Gotcha.
that's actually how we met, and he started telling me that
I can see,
pictures.
like, the bone structure is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was telling me how he takes pictures, and he was showing me his work, and I was really impressed, and he invited me today, so
okay.
Here I am.
Cool. So you gonna model today?
Well, we just shot a couple pictures with Travis, and
Cool.
I was really happy about that.
You're a computer science major.
Yes.
Why do you choose to be a computer science major?
Well, ever since I was a kid, I was really impressed with computers, but I never really knew how to work and anything like that. So when I, got to college, and I was like, maybe that's something I should look at, and first took my first couple of classes, and I was like, okay, I'm really impressed, and maybe I should look further into this, and 4 years down the line, close to graduating college now, and about to get my bachelor's in computer science. So.
Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but you have two related soils in this room. Me, I went to Polytechnic, which is now NYU. So I did quite a few years of computer science. So I did see and all that nonsense. And I have also a friend of mine, David, who is also knows a little bit about the computers.
That's great.
To be modest, he knows a lot about computers, actually.
Yeah.
So that's why do you think people choose the computer science program? Is that because you like to sit in front of a screen and you don't like people, or you like the coding? You like there is an answer because, like. The way I look into the photography, there are so many ways to get to the answer.
Yeah.
But if you doing math, it's 2 + 2, it's 4,
yeah.
or it's 0 and 1. It's there. It has to be the answer.
In computer science, it's more like it's not like people choose to do computer science because they want to be in front of a screen all the time. It's more like, well, there is this problem. I want to solve it, and let me come up with a solution to solve it. And you take a computer, you can basically create anything you want with a computer. It's not going to be physical, but it's going to be out there. Like, if we look at 10 years ago, From 2007 to today, the amount of things that are being created by coding, from Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, anything you can think of on your computer is code. You know,
what's new for the computer science in the future? Do you think the like 10, 20 years from now, what kind of computers we'll have? What do you think the futuristic look like?
I think 10, 20 years from now, we're gonna have a lot of, you know, artificial intelligence.
Do you think the robots will be part of the human body and you will have parts and hands? Because I see a lot of folks right now working with like a different additional like robotic parts.
I mean, anything that we can do to improve the human body, whether with biology or computers, is great.
Do you think Google Glasses will come back? Like, what's,
I think Google Glasses, not so much. Maybe within lenses, it's not going to be glasses, maybe lenses, and it's not going to be visible to the eyes, and you know, we're going to be able to capture a lot of things with that.
I went recently for the movie theater experience, and I saw the new movies with the scent.
Yeah.
So like they have big ventilators and fans. So when you watch the movie, you basically, if you're at the ocean, you feel the breathe.
Yeah.
It's not only you can see the ocean, but you can smell it.
Smell it. Feel
and
it.
then you go to the horse ratings stuff, and you actually smell those horses.
And when there's an earthquake, you can feel the.
Yeah, they have. I don't know if we didn't have an earthquake, but I'm pretty sure the chairs might move. Do you think anything like that is coming to the computer science, when you will, instead of writing and typing, you will command the computer with maybe your voice, eyes, or your thoughts?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in computers, like, when you look at you know, anything basically that you wanna do. So like, let's say in a movie, and you wanna give, you know, the viewers the best experience they want with the movie. So, you know, you're shooting a screen and it's really breezy. You can basically control anything in the room with your computer.
But my concern here is, we're here in New York, right?
Yes.
So you are competing now with all the guys in China, in Russia, and India. So they are much cheaper labor. They have nothing else to do. Like here, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can have so many other options what to do with your life. So when you are in computer science world, you're basically competing with the rest of the world who don't have the privilege to be in the United States, and who can work remotely, and who can work for much less money. So why you subject yourself to the field where you basically open up for the competition with all the new kids that coming from the undeveloped world? How do you, like, is there other things that has to be done here locally? Is there the trust issue? Like, what's there?
Even though like freelancing is a really big thing, and we can freelance to other countries. Sure.
Go
yes,
ahead.
yeah, we can freelance to other countries and basically get much cheaper labor. But the key is to not only it's to create. So, you know, whenever you're learning something, it's to be able to create and create and put
how do you compete
market.
with all these creative folks all over the world?
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself.
So it doesn't matter where are you. You still do what you want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, if
is
you
there any competitive advantage for you being computer science major here in New York?
I mean, of course, you know, United States is a really advanced country, and you know, you get the best professors, the best school, and.
But a lot of those things could be learned online.
That is true. A lot of people
read the book and code. I don't need much classroom for that. A lot of more computer science, you don't need to sit in a class. If you're smart and you understand, you can learn it yourself. I think what we have here as the infrastructure and the trust issue, certain things like you are here, you're a United States citizen. So you're probably not a terrorist, not Al-Qaeda. You don't have those traits. So if the bank hires you or the major corporation hires you, they know that you are physical on their premises right here. And it's versus someone else who's sitting somewhere in China or Pakistan or elsewhere, and you don't know what they're going to do with your data. That might be an advantage to be physically present inside of the corporation or the headquarters here in New York.
That is true. Yeah, trust is a really big, you know, component of computer science. So ethics and, you know, in computer science, ethics is really big because there is a lot of harms you could do with computer science, but I think the goods outweigh the harm. So, you know, being physically present, it's pretty much an advantage, yeah.
Stone, who went to Russia and stole all the secrets. he had quite a bit of story.
Yeah.
Like, how do we prevent guys like that to steal our secrets?
Well, I think you have to limit, who and what kind of data that person have access to. That's one major thing. And
as a computer person, you get quite a bit of access to data, so you limit yourself.
But also, there's other people that can restrict you from getting access to those data. So that's one major thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have computer science question, perhaps Joseph might answer to you, and you're welcome to reach out to us. And Joseph is part of the Travis crew, so hopefully you'll be able to see him as a model in our next couple of videos tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to have City Councilman William Russell Moore from the 18th District in Bronx. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
How do you like this space so far? I know how much did you get a chance to see?
It's a beautiful space. I mean, it's a gem in New York City. It just shows that New York City has grown to a big capital.
I think the Bronx deserve more space of that nature as well. And we have in Brooklyn Brick Art Media Center, and there is a similar kind of space in Bronx. Public speech is available there. But maybe I haven't been there, but I don't think it's as glamorous as Google would put it up.
Well, this is an attractive piece of space here.
What's your policy? What do you?
Well, again, my name is William Russell Moore, and I'm running for City Council in the Bronx in District 18. And what's wholesome to my heart is
how many turns did you do so far?
Well, this is my second run. I'm running.
Oh, you're running. You're not a councilman.
Not yet. Not yet. I will be though.
Okay, gotcha. So I just want to make sure it's.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
City council candidate running for the 18th district.
Why do you run to be a?
Well, one, I want to take care of the needs of my community. We have a median income in my district of about $34,000. I feel that is very low. With the crisis of gentrification happening, poor blacks, poor Hispanics, and poor whites are going to be moved out of the boroughs, if not the city. So I have a plan to raise the median income of residents in my district, and I would like to make sure that they make roughly about $60,000 or more, so they can sustain a type of living that's going to be.
What have you done in your previous career before running for the council?
Well, prior to this, I went to SUNY Stony Brook, and I got a BA in political science. I studied politics there, and also American history, and also business.
As a work experience, I mean, did you work for you own a business?
No, I mean, pretty
work for the government.
Well, I worked for government, yeah. From when I graduated from college, I worked for Department of Youth Services in New York City.
So you have experience working in the public sector.
Yeah, and also worked at City Hall with Dave Dinkins back in the '90s, and also Rudolph Giuliani as well.
What do you think is the relationship between the politicians and the music community, filmmaking community, the folks like hip hop, like the guy who brought you here, Ruben? He's very much into the music world.
Well, when it comes to the Bronx is known as the Boogie Down Bronx. I mean, our whole birthright as a people is entwined with government. When it comes to, like, say, the forefathers of rap, the early beginnings of rap, we all came up from the bottom up, and it spilled over to become a billion-dollar industry. So there's no separation. Like, there's no separation between church and state. There's no separation between rap and government. I mean, you saw with even Barack Obama, he had a good relationship with Jay-Z. And I will also have a good relationship with the up-and-coming artists and actors also, because there's a
lot of when we're talking about the art world and the musicians. There are gangsters, there is drugs, there are fallen language. There are so many things that are influencing that culture. And you, as a politician, probably looking for more mainstream kind of.
Well, the funny thing is that the caveat of rap started ugly, right? It started at the bottom of the gutter, right? A lot of the rap artists say, I came from the gutter, meaning that they came from the hard knocks of life. And it's that hard knocks of life that have transformed them into their lyrics, and they put that imagery out into the lyrics, and that has mesmerized the world. And that's what caused rap to just go so far today and become what it is.
But I've seen other people from the art world going into politics. Like we have President Reagan, we have Trump from the TV show being in politics. Do you think rappers have future in the
I think
politics?
if Donald Trump can become the president of the United States, anybody can become the president of the United States. That's basically how I see it. In fact, I would love for someone of the genre of rap to run for office. I can even help them on their campaign. I have so much experience doing that for others. But you know, when we look at the field of candidates out there, that potential rap artists that who have made it in the world of hip hop, I would say Jay-Z is a potential candidate. I would say Nas is a potential candidate. I would say Kanye West, I can counsel him in becoming a potential candidate.
Do you think they have interest in politics?
Yes, they do. I think that, you know, first of all, with politics, right? Being that they have their own resources, their own money, their own empire, and their own businesses, they can elevate very well into the lifestyle of politics.
I can understand why people of politics going running for the office and they just want more power and just staying in the public eye. I can understand when business people running for the office and they want to make money, but the musician,
Well, I can probably answer that for you. I think when it comes from the grassroots level of hip-hop and the culture of rap, I think folks that have already made it successfully in business, they don't have any social needs or social wants. But I think if they were to become politicians and to make that transition, it will basically be to take care of the needs of the social underclass, from which they came from which they rapped about from the early ages of rap. And that's what it's always been. Rap has always been about the message, right? It's always been about the relationship that they have with society.
Have a platform. You have the audience to watch. How come I don't see? Let's say when I go to fashion show, and I was trying to produce this year the political fashion show, when we had almost 12 politicians who agreed to walk the runway for the cause, and at the end it didn't happen.
Well, so, you called on the wrong politicians. I wish you would have consulted me, my campaign manager. We would have had it.
We've been trying to
set off for you.
Bring
bring it my way. Bring it my way, and then I'll get it done. Trust me. My name is Wayne Russ Morton. I will get it done. I can tell you that right now. I can line up a number of politicians that can do that.
We dress the designers. It's all legit.
We can do it in the Boogie Down Bronx.
It's so helpful
in
for
Bay
the
Plaza
fashion industry, and it's so helpful for politicians.
Bring it. I'll set it up for you, and I'll get it. Trust me, I will get it done. That's how confident I am.
Okay, hopefully you win, and
I will knock it out the park.
We have you.
I will manage it, produce it, and run with it on the runway.
Maybe we might, when we apply for the grants, to make a film or to make a movie or to stage an event, it's so difficult to maneuver through the paperwork with the city. What are the key components for the audience when we fill out those papers to get funded?
Well, first of all, you have to go to the right offices, right? I mean, the mayor's office have media relations.
You fill out the form. You don't come. You just mail it to them, right? And you don't pick. But someone who has a relationship or friendship behind the scene might get it. It's like how.
Well, like I said, you have to make sure you have the right people that you're going to talk to in government. There's government liaisons within government. There's media relations within government. Also, you have to have the right people to navigate your stuff through, because there is red tape waiting for you in City Hall and city governance.
Okay.
It's waiting for you.
So maybe when you win, you might have some advice, and your doors will be open for the music industry and the fashion industry.
My doors will be open for the hip-hop industry, the fashion industry, and every industry out there, because I believe in that, because later on, I tell you my platform, I speak to a cultural center, a performing arts center that talks about that as well, and I believe in what's here right now.
I just met you on this interview, but I promise to look into your platform and research what you do, and hopefully this interview will be helpful for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
What's your social media by any chance? Like
Okay.
if you have for your platform.
Well, my website is www.more2017.com.
Okay.
I can be reached on email at iamwithmore@gmail.com, and my Facebook is it should be iamwithmore/Facebook or something like that. But you can Google me and find me out.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you can read the subtitles. So if you need additional information, the candidate is there to answer your questions.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome to come back, and maybe we should record more.
Anytime you want me, I'll be right here.
I'm pretty sure once in a couple of weeks the interview will come out, I'll get quite a few questions for you, and so I would be asked to bring you back.
Okay, and my name is spelled William Russell Moore.
William Russell Moore.
Yes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, since Ruben been such a big star in the last show, we have the video only for a couple of days, and he's already a big star on my channel. I decided to bring Ruben back, and not only him, but also quite a few people on his crew who came with Ruben. Tell us a little bit, how do you feel about the previous shoot and what's coming today?
I felt great, you know, like the last time I was here, we had, you know, positive, motivational, inspirational lecture about the music industry and how artists, you know, how artists get on, you know, what artists have to do. This time around, you know, I liked the show so much last time that this time around, I wanted to, you know, get with you and do the collabo to where I, you know, show the world what I'm about. So I brought a lot of underground and a couple major artists and, you know, a couple senators and stuff like that that are coming. So, you know, I wanted the show to expand. You know, Alex, he introduced me to this space here. And, you know, I have spaces in LA and Tokyo opened. But this space here is, you know, it's convenient. This is New York. I live here and stuff like that. I do a lot of different things with big artists, models, you know, different type of film directors. And where I'm going from here is taking, I guess, YouTube to the next level on my channel. You know, that's just been admin towards me with, you know, all rights and purposes for content media management director. World Star Hip Hop, 7.2 million subscribers.
Wow. So we will have today a couple of videos filmed in a couple of different sets. Stay tuned, those will come in the next couple of weeks. And we'll have hopefully quite a few interviews with your guests.
Definite, you know, these guests that I bring, you know, they're inspirational because, you know, they follow my format. They listen to me, you know. I give them that direction. I give them that equilibrium to understand the business better and to approach it in a way that they obtain something from it, whether it be a learning experience or whether it be financial gain. They gain something, and that's why I'm well respected.
Cool. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have more questions for Ruben, maybe you would like to join his roster, perhaps you can, Dope Chief, you can write to him. You can see in subtitles his data, and maybe you can deal with us and have some more business and some more interviews and some more videos that we can shoot together.
Definitely, definitely. On all social media networking platforms, you could get me at .com/Mr. M.R. Ruben, RUBEN, JBURGOS. Okay? So,
can you say it again?
Okay,
one more time.
Definite. You know, as far as social media, you could contact me. You know, you put the /Mr. M.R. RUBEN JBURGOS. Okay, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you could catch me on the World Wide Web more than 3 million times if you look up Ruben Burgos or Mr. Dope Chef. I'm looking to put all artists on that are independent and hungry to actually make something out of themselves. All models who are looking to actually go on a magazine, covers, everything like that, be in music videos. I'm looking for DJs, producers. I'm looking for club management. I'm looking for everything. I'm an all-in-one shop when it comes to entertainment.
Some people tend to stay in their line. Let's say someone would brand themselves. Let's say, I'm a photographer. That's all I do. I'm a photographer. Some people say, I'm an artist. you do not stay in line.
No.
You have so many interests, from car dealership to the music to the clubs. How do you brand yourself? How do you like? You don't.
Well, me, I don't sleep. I'm a grand architect. I'm really a grand architect. Like, you know, in a Masonic lodge and stuff like that. But I learned how to develop and structure life, meaning I don't let life run me. I run life. You understand? A lot of people let life run them. I don't find it conventional when people sleep. That's a waste of time to sleep for me. You understand? Wow. So I stay up 22, 23 hours a day. And times that I rest my body, like right now, I would be sleeping as I'm talking to you. But I'm sleeping right now. I'm resting my body. So this is my type of sleep.
Wow.
A conventional person, they sleep, they'll go and lay down on a pillow and everything. I can't do that. You know why? Money doesn't sleep, I don't sleep.
But people like you and me, once you have money at some point, it's not about much money. It's about other things like power, connection, interesting life. So what drives you?
Right now, principle. Principle that I want to bring something new and fresh to different industries. You're right. I do deal and dabble in every single industry. I have film to where I have a whole bunch of web series out, a couple movies out. I have magazines that I'm putting out in hip hop.
But why do you do all those things? It's why? Just you interested in those things?
It's not even an interest.
Not enough for you, let's say.
It's not even an interest no more. It's more like a principle. Principle meaning this is my life. This is how I live. I don't care to be an owner. I don't care to be a boss.
Like in terms of honorable.
Oh yeah, honorable. Yes. Honorable, definite. You know, my loyalty and respect for the craft and the skill that these people put into their music or into their modeling and everything like that, I respect so much that I give myself what I know, my knowledge, so they could obtain it and do something with it and appreciate it. That's it.
Okay.
You understand? It's definitely good. You know, like I love his work though. You have to hit him up for photography. You have wedding coming up or anything like that, birthdays, gigs, events, club events, social media events, anything like that. This guy is one of the best photographers in the industry, and I'm sitting by him, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you for endorsement. Hopefully we'll do some events and you'll see me in action. Guys, thank you. Let's see other artist. Ladies and gentlemen, we have big crew today for the final interview of the day. We have Fresh here, gracefully introduced by Ruben. And as you can see, we have our models. What they will do today, they will show you how great they can do commercial looks. So you will see different facial expressions, and hopefully you like those models and you can hire them. And we have social media in the subtitles for those girls, so for their people who represent them. As far as Mr. Fresh, you're a designer.
Yes, that's correct.
They're wearing your hats.
Yes, they are.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Fresh. I'm the ambassador of Plug KV clothing line. That it's a high-end fashion. Actually, as my partner calling me right now, as we speaking right now during the interview. Oh man, but that's.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I will be able to wear one of your hats also on the show. Tell us a little bit what's the fashionable looks like. When you do your shows, how do you select your models? Like, what's important?
Basically, I look at first is all about their approach. You know what I mean? You know how they look. I don't discriminate on big size, small, medium, or whatever the case may be.
Loyalty matters. They need to know you before. If they just have amazing look, what matters to you when you select as a designer?
Basically,
do they come on time? What's important?
It's all about their approach, like how they look, how they carry themselves. You know what I mean?
Is it important that someone introduce you to them? Or
yeah, relationship is everything.
Or it's if you see someone great on Instagram, you'll just talk to them and maybe.
Nah, what I do is I go through their profile. You know, I see what they about. You know what I mean? What they post, things like that. Because positive energy is everything. Like my brand, our brand is not negativity. So I don't want no negativity towards the brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you have your show and there are so many moving parts, the stylist, the hair and makeup and models, how do you keep everything under control? Do you have like a flow manager? What's the flow? How do you make it happen?
Basically, we got to make it happen.
I understand you got it, but what do you do special? Do you have like a routine? Do you write everything down, or
Yeah,
you
of course, you
explain?
gotta-
You talk to everyone in person.
Yeah, definitely. You got to interview each model, whatever the case may be. You know, see where their head is at. You got to write everything down.
You do
Yeah,
fitting first, so make sure the sizes fits, right?
definitely.
Okay. Uh, tell us a little bit about the
What the brand is about?
Yes.
Yeah, basically, Plug KB clothing line. You know, it started out with Tyleek Smith. Those are the CEOs, and Kendra Battle, and you know, basically that people that passed away, things like that. Like, say you have a loved one that passed away, what you're doing is you stay entwined with the loved ones that passed away. Like, you could also get their name on the side, right here on the side of the other hat, right here.
What's plug stand for?
Plug stands for prayers lie underneath God. So basically, it's all positive. It's,
Okay.
it's like I said, it's nothing negative. It's nothing. It's no drugs. It's nothing. There's no connect. It's nothing like that.
In the world of fashion, there is a lot of backstabbing and fights, and so where everybody wants to be on top. There is only one can be a winner on top, and also
How we stay on top?
There is also lots of loyalty and honor.
Right.
How do you pick and how do you know where the people that you're dealing with are noble and honorable, and how you can trust
I mean, my
them?
team. Well,
You leave your clothes, they can walk away with your clothes if they like it. How do you know that you can trust those models?
I mean, as far as the models go, like, you know, we use models, but far as the team go of Plug KB clothing, we loyal to ourselves.
I see.
Right.
Cool. How do you know Ruben?
Oh, I knew Ruben for a couple of years. Man, Ruben's a great guy, man.
Okay. When Ruben invited you today, I hope you like the space.
Yeah, oh, nah, definitely. It was definitely my
What
mental
makes you think-
history.
why did you come? What was so special about Ruben that whenever he calls someone, they come?
Ruben, it's his work. I love his work, and you know we worked before also too.
Yeah.
So you know we built a relationship already, so it's cool. I just don't just hop out just to go to anything.
Okay.
Like most of the people that
you have a name, he has recognition. So if he tells you there is cool stuff, you would.
Oh
you
yeah,
would trust
definitely.
his,
He know I'm not coming out just for anything.
Okay.
you know, like a lot of the people that I call and stuff like that, they're already intertwined to the major music business through either family members or connections and everything like that, and they have it to where right now they have a lot of celebs repping, you know, the plug, KB Clothing, you know, so it's branded out there, and it got to me to where, you know, I was in a club and, you know, I bumped into somebody with him, like, yo, that's my boys, and had to call him, like, yo, you did this? And they're like, yeah, and we just linked up, so it was pretty good.
Maybe we can produce a fashion show here. If you saw the stage up front, the Studio A.
Yeah, definitely.
We also, following,
I mean,
he has quite a bit of following.
We also got Plug KB too, so you know that's gonna be dope. You know what I mean? To merge with YouTube also. So you're working on a lot of things. We got a record label, Blue Circle Records.
What's your social media? Like, how do you audience?
Oh yeah, you can definitely
look
reach us at well, you can reach the CEO, the kid from Marcy, 552. You can reach also the Plug KB page, Plug KB, my Instagram, Fresh Fella, Facebook, Blue Circle Records. So we're not hard to find, and we reach back out to you, to everybody.
Even it's pretty much the last interview today, but I think we are really grateful that you came in, and hopefully you come again, and we.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having us. Thank the models too also participating. I appreciate y'all. You know, definitely. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Definitely. All right.
JMI, ladies and gentlemen. We have a band with us. As you can see, they are glossy, not because that's how our makeup artists want them to look, but because they coming off the performance from the green room. How was the performance? Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
You're getting something nice?
Yes.
Do you like the space where it's nice recording here?
Yeah.
It's very
It's
cool.
really cool.
I heard we were making your studio shake.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. No, I don't think we felt there is quite a bit of protection. So I think we're fine.
Someone came in and said that, so.
Yeah. Junk made ill. Why is such a name?
Well, so I've I've been playing music forever with Dave over here, right? He was the A&R at my first label, and we would just always fall into like, or maybe I would just always fall into really shitty situations. And so every time I would write a song about it, it was like this idea of, you know, alchemy and like making something that was really bad into something nice, right? So Junk Made Ill is like junk made ill, you know? Like turn that nastiness.
Cool.
I still don't know if I could, I just
Yeah,
swear.
like here's a
I think I
perfect
swear.
example.
I'm not allowed to swear.
Here's a perfect example of Junk Made Ill, right? So once upon a time, Jamie had this like guitar that she found. It was this like just pink
That's my
guitar,
pink guitar.
just lying around and whatnot, and it was like being thrown out or something. It's like a piece of crap type thing on the floor, and she picked it up, put purple strings on it, and turned it into like something that's
They were
amazing.
pig
It was-
strings.
Sorry, sorry, my bad.
I don't mess with purple.
How do you
She's a
control,
pink girl.
who is the boss? How do you guys control each other? Like,
She's the boss.
She's the boss.
She's the boss.
Don't need to think about that.
Do you guys feel intimidated that the girl?
Not at all. It's not like that. It's like
so
I don't know. I like it. I like having her as the boss.
Yeah, when
I
all
don't know.
three of us first got together, we just vibed really well. So
But
it was sort of natural.
there is always dynamics when people want to be on top. Someone wants to be more. Just let me do my part. And how do you find each other? How is that dynamic built?
Okay, so I think the dynamic was built because Dave is the most understanding human being in the world.
Okay.
And I'm like totally batshit crazy. So basically, like, he came along and just sort of guided me in my beginning stages of, you know, writing music and then into producing and stuff like that. And sort of just like let me be myself. So we've known each other a long time.
Why do you do this?
Because I saw something in her the first time that I was introduced to her back, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. Like she had that like thing, like she's a great in front of the camera. She's a performer. Like she can get the crowd going, and it's just really interesting. And the music was good too. It was like a nice little fusion.
How
of a
do you
couple-
build the trust? Like you trust each other. You go on the stage as a team. So a lot of people, you know, they don't trust each other. How that you told strangers 6 years ago, now you crew.
Because he let me be. So, like, for example, one of the times where we had our first kind of, like, New York show, we were coming into Brooklyn, you know, basements, I was creating my own shows there. I had, like, a complete meltdown, you know, and I was sitting on the corner, like, hurled in a ball. This is no joke. And he's like, where are you? Like, we're going on. And I'm like, no, like, not happening. Like, I'm outside. And then, you know, he came over and said some crazy things to me, and then I just went on stage. So, like, basically, he just lets me get that stuff out. So I think, like, that's my trust with Dave.
Okay. We all have great trust between each other.
Yeah, and I would never, like, yeah, and this one
Trevor
he was, like, the triangle, you know? Like, I feel like he came to me through a good friend, Michelle, and she just was, like, one day, I was literally praying. I was, like, praying for the right drummer, because we've gone through a bunch of drummers. And then she just walked up to me randomly one day and was like, hey, do you need a drummer? And I was like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like, why would you say that to me? And then, you know, he came to the rehearsal and we were like, yeah, whatever, another drummer, another. And then we just, like, it was cemented. And I think that maybe he's the one that sort of, like, grounds the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm way up here and Dave's kind of, like, circling and Trevor's, like, the rock.
Cynical one.
You know? Yeah.
How do you guys divide, like, when you make some money? Like, who makes the financial decisions?
Evenly.
Like, but there is no,
Anything.
like, no, I mean, not in terms of number of money, in terms of decisions, like whether we go for this gig, we take that much, or we go for that gig, we take that much. How do you make those decisions?
I make those decisions.
Yeah, she pretty much makes those decisions. She just calls it up.
So you just tell
I don't, and
them,
actually,
they
like,
accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
trust. I trust.
So you
I make decisions too, like that are on. I'm like we played Highline Ballroom last month, and you know it was like a benefit concert for everyone that has been affected by the hurricane, and it was also like around 9/11, so we were just giving to a bunch of charities, like the bookers, and you know. I actually probably shouldn't have done that without saying something to you guys. But I got on stage and I said that I would give everything. Normally you give something. So then when I said, hey, are you guys okay with like actually giving that everything? And they were like, of course.
I feel like you knew we would be okay with it.
Yeah, like they're not, they're really good people, so I just
you
wanted to give
you
it.
have responsibility. You have two nice guys who
They're the
totally
best.
trust you.
The best.
What keeps you up at night? How do you like? What do you worry about?
The world? I worry about like many. I think I worry about everything. I literally think
But
that they don't worry about
in
anything.
terms of your group, like,
if like I'll be able to you know, like reach people the way that I want to, if I'll be able to affect someone's life in like a positive way, that I think that some artists that brought me into singing and stuff did that.
But okay, some people perform by themselves. You guys perform as a group. Why do you don't have 10 people group? Why don't you do it by yourself? Like, why 3 is that's the number you want to be? Are you looking to add more folks to your crew, or you just that's how you want to stay forever?
We kind of looking for the 4th person because we think we could add a bassist that would be also like multi-dimensional. Like for example, if you saw, like just now you saw, well, you didn't see, but we played one song. So
I'll see it once.
Right. Okay. Well, I would love you to see it. But like this, we play, so drums, we were playing guitar, keyboard, singing, right? And then we switched during the set a lot. So
but we all play multiple instruments.
Right. So I think that we would love to have someone who is like a bassist first, and then
bassist,
something else.
If you're watching us, what's your Instagram?
Junk Maydale.
Junk Maydale. Maybe you can write to these folks, and they might accept you.
Oh, I would love it. Let's have auditions. That'd be so fun.
Going back to the trust thing, like also it's hard finding someone else because you got to be able to trust them with the same type of trust that we've obviously built up through the years.
Some crews stay for a long time together. Some break at some point. What do you think? Why people break, and what's going on in the? How long is average life expectancy for the crew?
I think that's really dependent on the band itself and the communication and the people in the band itself. Sometimes you just personality.
Your families pull you apart. Your other people are trying to steal the talent. You trying to collect, get the energy off each other. Like what's going on? Like
I think we're very I just think we're loyal to each other in that respect. Like we know what this is. We're loyal to that.
So you bring everything you find, like just to the crew.
Yeah. Okay. And I just think I think that bands fall apart. I mean, maybe it's just like at some point someone needs something new. Ego, I for sure think it is. Because like, for example, there's many times that we could have a full-blown fight about something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like one of us will step up and just sort of be like, okay, like I've also done that at some point, and you just have to understand each other. And the biggest thing is communication. So that's like so corny because everyone says that. Like when they say like, how are you married 50 years? Communication, right? But it really is true because it's just like, hey, like I didn't just try to be I don't have the words because I can't swear. Can I swear? Whatever. So like I didn't just try to whatever mess you up. I can't talk. But like what I meant was this, and like if you can say like where you were coming from, and I think that the other people will allow you to say that. And even though that doesn't sound like a rock band, that sounds pretty corny, but like it's true.
There are some bands who call themselves clean bands. They don't use any foreign language. Clean band, like meaning that they don't use the foreign language and stuff. And some bands they say as it is.
They're clean.
So they have.
My aunt is gonna be so mad at me when she sees this.
So what's the difference? Like, what kind of things that you can say that the F word or words of that nature makes a difference, and the clean band missing? You know what I'm trying to go for?
What exactly? I mean,
you
say,
let's say there are bands who do not use any
profanity in their music. Okay.
Right, and there are bands who actually like rappers. We just had full of it. So there is a difference, like in terms of audience, what you can reach, and what are the benefits and the disadvantages of either world.
Well, I mean, disadvantages is you can't play it everywhere if you're cursing.
You cut out a piece of your audience that you want to reach.
But I think
so you lose the beat, and that kills the
definitely
the
kills
feeling. Or it's you record a different version of a song.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we have a release coming up, and there are F words in it because it's a really meaningful song for me about breaking through something, and that just came out in this actual rap part of it because there's like a more rap part of it. And I just think it was natural, like how I spoke, so it came out. But we are making a clean version for the radio. So,
I also feel that like the profanity, though, it's like when you use it right, if you use it like in the right show emotion or to when it's appropriate, not like F this, F that, or you F that, so it's like. But when you're doing like I'm like like you're screaming, you're in pain or something, you're like.
But
so
as an artist, it's do you feel that you don't have enough education or language or the words to describe itself, and you need it, or it's just because that's how the audience will relate to it better? Like why the profanity is so important in
it's
the
emotional.
art?
It's emotional. It's definitely emotional.
Emotion.
It's not like a lack of words. It's
Shakespeare is very emotional, but
True.
I don't think he used that much of profanity.
My family will love you. They're gonna be like, oh my god. They're like, why didn't you meet Mr. Great before? Because I've had this argument at the dinner table before.
Okay.
Shakespeare also didn't wear heels and have an electric guitar.
Oh, Dave.
Just throw it out there.
What's wrong with the heels? It makes
No, he's just
longer.
No.
They're just
Different circumstances. You know, like
It's
you say, you know, Shakespeare didn't use any profanity in his sonnets and his plays and
Well,
whatnot.
I would.
Okay, so a
not
little
much.
bit. I've never read a lot of Shakespeare, to be honest with you, but like that's totally different than playing a rock band with like people who are you know drinking, enjoying, having a good time, dancing. There's like a much more different like crowd and experience.
I'm sure at the time of the Shakespeare, people drink and drunk in this show.
I love it. Mr. Gray's taking on Dave. This is so fun. You can come to the studio anytime, please. So fun.
Okay, guys.
I think you should try not to swear, right? But if you do, like, in its actual art that comes out, because it's actually, I just read an article on Facebook. I know it's horrible, but someone posted something that said artistic and higher IQ level people swear more. And I don't know if that's true, so you shouldn't listen to me.
We can Google it and.
Yeah, you can Google it. Someone posted it, but I actually am sad I sweared because I want to like reach a younger audience, so I'm really about that, and I'm not saying swear, but it's like maybe when you hear the song, you can tell me what you think about it. But it was just like there was nothing else I could go there in that moment because it was literally like my heart is like.
How do you know Ruben? Yeah. Like, you're coming from Ruben crew, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So Ruben and I, Dope Shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like Ruben crew.
Him and I have some various outside projects that we work on together, and you know, we became friends through these projects, and
cool.
Here now.
Yeah, we love Ruben. He comes in. He recorded rap at the studio.
Chief Dope, thank you for introducing us to such an interesting crew, and
thank you for
love
having
to
us.
see the video after this.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, living legend Star Hansen with us here today. Let's find out who is living legend and what is he doing.
What am I doing now?
Yes.
I'm sitting here hanging out with my boy. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
What I'm doing now, you know, I guess we'll talk about the other stuff in a minute, but between working on starhansen.com and...
You're artist, you're musician.
Yes, artist. Yes, I write, produce, sing music. I play 7 instruments, blah, blah, blah.
Travel the world.
I've been in a lot of countries. Nice. I'll tell you a story, my funniest story.
Tell me.
I was in London, and I needed to use the bathroom. And it was my first time in London, and I get off the plane, and I run up to the guy and say, hey, man, where's the bathroom? He goes, all the way down. I walk all the way down to the end of the airport, can't find the bathroom. I walk into this room, he goes, it's right there. I go in there, these guys are bathing, sitting in this water, and I'm like, dude, like, where's the bathroom? So I come outside, I'm like, bro, where's the bathroom? I walk down, he sends me back again. This went on for like 20 minutes. I gotta use the bathroom, right? So I said, listen, dude, I need to take a leak. He goes, oh, you need the water closet. He says, you got to go there to the water closet, sir. I said, really? Because the bathroom is actually where you take baths.
I see.
So it's different in other countries.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
In America, the bathroom is different from, right.
Gotcha.
Oh, it was hysterical. It took me 20 minutes. I'm running around the airport.
You go to England, they would serve you tea. It will come with milk, right?
Right.
If you don't say, don't put milk, otherwise they will put it.
They will put milk. It's just normal, correct.
So what's normal in the musician life like you that different from normal other people?
Normal, you know, they say that, medically speaking, that, you know, some people think, or artists think on the right side of the brain or the left side of the brain, and other people think on the right side of the brain. I mean, when you have that creative source or spirit, or however you like to describe it, you know, when that's in you, it's just different. You see things different. I dream. When I'm sleeping, I'm writing music in my sleep.
Are you
I'm
waking
writing
up
scripts.
like a note?
Yeah, I got my recording studio right next to my bed. One of them, right next to my bed.
Do you do the phone or you do the on paper?
No. I do both. I do both, actually. Sometimes I'll write, But usually when I have the melody in my head, because
and
it's
little
a dream,
pads and Subway.
oh, forget about it. Pads, recorders, and then I jump up and I start playing and I start producing the track because it's in my subconscious. So the more conscious I become, the more I forget.
So it has to be right that moment.
Right at that moment, or I'll lose it. Because when I wake up, it's gone. Isn't that interesting? So it's so different being an artist and a writer.
When you go away, let's say on a trip, let's say when I go fishing and hunting, and I specifically don't take the phone, I don't take anything to write on. So the ideas keep coming to me also, but I tend to not to write them at that moment. Whatever I remember after, I think that's a greatness.
If you can remember, you got to make those mental notes.
Whatever is not a good one, it will not come back to me. So I try to
separate, but keep it together.
So many coming, right? You know, like there is a sun, there is a ocean, there is a, you know, like a sky.
Right.
Ideas keep coming to you. So how do you know which is good, which is bad? So I figured out that I'll just whatever stay with me. That's a decent one. Whatever evaporates, it's gone.
I'll tell you something. Right out the gate, I cheat. When I go, I still take a pad and a pen with. I gotta cheat because because sometimes, like, you know, as a preacher's kid, I was raised a little different. I believe in leaving people better than I found them. Okay. And sometimes, you know, you get those ideas and those concepts, and if you can't bless the world, then why are we here? Why are we breathing if we can't?
So that's the purpose why you're singing?
Yeah.
I get you.
I think that we
all
all have a reason. You know, a lot of people have said to me, you know, why are we here? You know, why are we breathing? What is our job here on this planet or whatever? And I say to them, what do you love? Whatever it is you truly love doing is what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what you're supposed to give to the world. And that's just me.
You can be anyone in the world. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can have different professions. You have the gift, you're a smart guy. You choose to be an artist, musician. Why that path? It's so difficult to...
You know, Alex, I have to interject. I don't think that I chose to be an artist. I believe it chose me. Yeah. It's like I know doctors and lawyers that are actors or actresses or, you know, musicians or writers or singers or whatever.
Many doctors play it's a hobby for them.
But in your case, they can't get away from it.
They come to the theater, they pay the ticket, they listen, they sing with you, they cry with you, they enjoy it, but they're not making this as a main point of their life. You chose this, or that chose you to be the main thing to do what you do.
It's interesting you would say that. As a child in high school, I play 7 instruments, self-taught. Wow. As a child, I want to play 20. Prince is like my idol. But as a child, I wanted to be free with my creativity. So when they tried to teach me how to read music, I didn't want to learn how to read music. When they tried to teach me how to do things formatically, I thought it was contradictory to having a free spirit. I'm a free spirit, and I like to be free. And to follow a formula when you're creating kind of contradicts creating. Creating should be free.
Prince was a free spirit. Prince creates things.
Case in point.
How do you go from where you are, which you accomplish, you're known, you're somebody in the world, right?
Thank God.
But how do you get to level Prince or higher? What's next step for you there?
It's very important, just from my love, sweat, and tears, or pain, sweat, and tears, to have the right people around you. I think, you know, you got to be very selective. You know, as a giver, you know, me, I'm a giver. And it's important to be around people that are givers also, because people will just take until you have nothing left. Like my ex, I told her, I said, look, just get a needle and just suck the blood out of my arm. I got nothing left. I've given it all. But, you know, I had Vito Bruno around me, who created Hanson and Davis, Hungry for Your Love, blah, blah, blah. Vito, he's now running for Brooklyn Borough President. Support that man. He's an amazing guy. But you know, through meditation and prayer and staying in tune with the universe.
It's numbers, like if you get
Good
like
people
millions
come
of
to you.
views, or like, how do you get to where Prince got from where you are now?
I'm trying to answer that question. I think meditation is important. I think knowing good vibration. You know, we're creatures that vibrate energy. And when that, you get
right people around you, surround yourself.
You know how you get around someone and it just, you don't feel comfortable. It just doesn't feel right. And then you can get around someone else and it just feels right. When you get around someone and it just feels right, keep them close. Ruben Burgos, right here, case in point. We hit it off out the gate. Who brought me on this show? Thank you, Ruben. Who's very established in the business, hip hop arena primarily, but globally he's very established, and it just works. See, I think when you're walking a righteous path, and you sincerely have good things in your heart, and you have the courage. It takes courage to do the right thing. A lot of people don't know that. Because it's easy to fail. It's easy to run. It's easy to look for the easy escape. It takes courage to stand and do what you know is right.
It's not easy to stand to Ruben, I can tell you that. he has...
I'm wearing his hat, by the way. This is his brand. I took his hat.
Yes.
Yeah, but people like Vito Bruno, Sal Abatello, Priestess L from, you know, she has a therapeutic organization that, you know, she's all about healing. And it's important to, you know, your brain is like a sponge and you gotta really take in good information, positive stuff. You can't feed your body and your brain poison and then expect something beautiful to come out. It's a contradictory. But that's just me.
I understand where you're coming from. I think that it's also important to challenge yourself. In my case, for example, I happen to also, like you, like to be around beautiful women and about models, about...
I'm a lesbian, I get it.
A good, you know, like, easygoing folks.
Right.
But sometimes I subject myself to be around folks who are very difficult to be next to. You know, complicated characters with tough, you know, personalities and big egos.
Right.
Especially very important, powerful people are very difficult, like have a lot of energy and strength to them. So by being in their presence is difficult, but at the same time, I learn a lot and how to overcome and how to deal with and learn from them.
You know what I realize, Alex? A lot of times, change may not be difficult, it's just different.
Yes.
You know, and if you want to grow, if you want to move forward or progress or be in the position that you feel you should be in so you could do what you feel you're supposed to be doing in this universe, in this world, you have to be willing to accept change. And being uncomfortable is a good thing. If we don't fail, well, what I'm saying is that we have to welcome failure. We have to accept it. If we don't fail, how are we going to grow?
You just do all the things that...
So making a mistake is a good thing because that's how you're going to learn. So when you get around those certain people that are on that level, they're firm about how they walk through life. And they're very selective about who they let join them on their walk, right? So we have to surrender and be receptive to how they move and what they're saying. And even though it may be uncomfortable, it may be the best information we ever got.
Okay.
You know, I'm so anti-judgmental. At least I hope I am.
For you? What are you doing next?
Well, now I'm working on I did a few films. You know, I have Legends of Freestyle that we just did, which is all about the freestyle artists. I've worked with everyone from Lisa to TKA to George Lamont to Mark Anthony, blah, 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 blah. Over the years, I did a project with Roberta Flack. I mean, I've been around since I was 15. My first platinum record, I was 15. I didn't even know what a platinum record was. Seriously, I'm hearing a song, I'm going, isn't that me? Didn't I sing that? Seriously. I'm like, wait a minute, that's me, I remember. No, really, I'm so telling the truth. And I hate liars. So, you know, but I'm very blunt and I'm very careful about who I work with now. So I've selected a few people that I've actually went in 100%. Ruben is one of them that I'm going hard 100%. And he and I are both owners of StarHanson.com. So my new single, you will find on StarHanson.com. It also talks about the film projects a little bit, but I don't like talking too much about film projects or anything that I haven't done yet.
Okay, so you don't do announcements up front?
Not too much. I can talk about Hungry for Your Love. I can talk about Ray Banks of Hillside Auto Mall. I can talk about, Vito Bruno. I can talk about Noel. I can talk about Lisa. I can talk about all the other people that I've done work with. I go back. Right now, I'll just tell you this. We have one solid, two maybe A-list actors. And I don't want to say her name, but you love her. She starred in Star Trek, Colombiana, blah, blah, blah. I can say that, I think, right?
Okay.
But we're real careful about, dropping names and stuff like that. Because if things go left field, then it makes us look like liars.
Okay.
So, and I hate liars. So, yeah, we are doing some stuff. I have 2 albums lined up, ready to go. Of course, StarHanson.com, of course. And then we have the horror film that I'm filming.
Wow.
But I'm not directing it. Normally, I'm a writer. I do write film and direct film and produce film. But
have you shot here at the YouTube space before?
No, that's where you come in, sir.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Hopefully you like it.
30 seconds. Go ahead. Invite me. I'm waiting for the invitation. Go.
You're here already. So maybe you will come again.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, one and only Star Hanson.
StarHanson.com. Hanson.
The legend here. The courtesy of Ruben Production.
Ruben, Bert, you want to come say hi, man?
It's okay. Look,
come on, here. Take the hat. Come on. This is his brand. Look at this. Woohoo! You want to wear the hat? No? Yeah?
That's Ruben, guys.
How you doing, everyone?
Big, you want to sit in the middle, bro?
I'll sit right here.
Okay.
So we had the honor to have Ruben a few weeks ago shooting with us, and Ruben came in today with a whole crew of his supporters and friends, and so far it's coming pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. The last time I came on the show, I learned a lot about using different type of elements and attributes as far as going to a YouTube space and dealing with Alex, who's one of the most professional people in the industry. I have a couple senators that's coming, a couple artists I have on my roster, models, DJs, producers, filmmakers. But, I wanted to give them the exposure, and Alex, he's one to do a tremendous job on
Thank you, Alex.
all the elements that he has and what we're doing here.
Stay tuned, we'll have some more folks for you guys.
We're gonna have a lot of B-roll on this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this interesting gentleman is courtesy of Ruben Productions, and you came today to talk about your music. Your name is 9 Lives. Can you tell my audience what you do, who you are, why you're here?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm 9 Lives. I'm here to promote my Smoke and Mirrors album. It's Smoke and Mirrors, come on, you got to know that there's a lot of things going on with the album, just like as in life.
What's going on?
I got a lot of different genres jumping off in the music. It's pretty much gravitated globally. It's not gravitated to one set sound. It's not committed to one set type of thing. It's just actual music that's created from the heart, from feelings, from drive, from life experiences, and just
But why do you do such music? You can do all kind of music. You have education that you're capable to do other things in life. Why do you do this?
Well, music is an educational tool, I feel. Music is power. Anything that you can write down and project to other people, such as films, books, music, you can pretty much change the world with an idea, with a sentence, with a line. You can change somebody's perspective.
Do you want to leave a legacy? Why do you play music? Or do you want to pleasure yourself? Like, why is that career then not something else?
I feel that I was always talented in music, and that talent
You just don't want to waste the talent?
No, that created more talents in other fields and other things, and it brought me friendships and it brought me life experiences. So this is something that's eternal. This is something that drives me.
That you have to do.
Yeah, I have to do this. Like I fight with my wife about this. I
Is your wife not supporting you?
No, she supports me, but she says I go too hard. I'm too nice to people. I'm not nice enough to her. Like I don't take her out enough. I'm up
So
hours.
you sacrifice the family versus the jobs.
I sacrifice everything for this.
Wow. Do you think it will come the time when the family will come first and the music business will come second?
When it's successful, you know, you can't.
What's the measurement of success?
Success for me is like
1 million likes, 10 million. Like, what's the
I've
success?
invested time,
Lots of money,
heart, blood, sweat, tears, and years into this.
Where do you get money for this as a musician?
If I can get an endorsement deal or I go on tour one good time, and people can say, okay, I can relate to his music. I can relate to this guy.
That's a success.
I know this guy. That's a success to me.
But how many? One person, 10 people, 1 million people? What's a?
That's gonna grab. Like I can't really put a number on that. I mean, there's billions of people.
How do you
in the
measure
world.
the success? What's success for you? You top the Prince. You top the Michael Jackson. Look, where
I don't
is
think
the
it's
success?
about topping another artist. I think it's about making a significant strike in my life and in others' lives.
So
I want a song to touch somebody and say, I felt like that.
Mhm.
I've been through that experience. I can relate to that man.
Okay.
That's what.
Have you get a chance to look at some of sets that we have here today?
Beautiful.
Maybe we can record something. I don't know if today or maybe another day.
I would
but,
love an
that would be-
opportunity to do that.
So let's try maybe the green room or the loft. I don't know if you saw the loft up there. I think the diner is. If you saw the last time we shoot a couple of music videos there, and everybody
Really?
loved those. So the diner moves the lights. So
Oh,
it's,
really?
we-
I do a
we can
little
play with it.
directing myself too. You know, I've directed a
Okay.
couple of videos and I've done a couple of things myself. You know, something for Fresh Montana, Drink Drugs, a few other people that you know are in the industry.
What's interesting about being a director? Like, what's different about being a director?
The thing about the director part that I really love is I get to step outside of the artist and give an artist what they want. As being an artist,
So a director is not an artist in that sense?
you have there's artistry in directing. Because you have to bring people together, scenery together, crew together. Like it's sort of like being a big magician, and you've taken all the little parts and all the little pieces, and then you put it together.
But
and
who is more like the artist with that producing? Let's say if you have someone like Michael Jackson or Prince, right? You have someone a major, and you produce. Who is controlling the set? The director or the artist?
Well,
who has the more power? The strength.
Well, really, when it's power like that, like an artist like Michael Jackson or Prince, they are very powerful artists. They have very commanding personas. You know, a true director would let them direct and like just highlight them. They would highlight them and guide them in the right direction so that they don't fall away. But they let them get their creative content in.
Okay, so you think that's all the content done by greatness is come from them personally, not from the people around them?
No, I didn't say
Primarily,
that.
but
No.
That's them. Or
It's a big circle.
team?
It's a big
So
circle.
everybody's
like you can't have a life without experiences. The people in your life give you the experiences.
How do you select your crew?
They selected me.
So if someone doesn't select you, you wouldn't work with them?
No, life.
They have to pick you.
I give everybody.
So if you like someone and they don't know anything about you, you would not come to them and you would wait until they come to you?
No, that's not so. If I like somebody, then I go head on and I tell them, listen, I like that. I like what you did on, and I tell them why I like them. You know what specific thing is. I'm a head-on shooter. I'm the tip of the arrow.
Cool. Hopefully we'll have some nice videos today, and pleasure for you for coming.
I really look forward to it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here Exile. He is a hip-hop artist and actor. Why do you do what you do?
Expression. I love the energy that it gives me. I like the feeling, the mode that it puts you in when you create. It's something special. Like it's an uplifting feeling. Like nothing I feel can give me.
It's only for you, or you care for the other what other people feel.
Sorry, go ahead.
If it's important to you personally, like is that the main thing that what you go by, or if you don't have, let's say, 1 million views, you're not happy, or if you get, let's say, you can get a lot of attention from other folks, but you might hate it because it's a cheap chop business, it's cheap, or you might really have very few followers, but it's really speak to your heart. When you create, how do you measure this?
Well, granted, in any of us human beings, when we work, we would like to see the fruits of our labor. That's just with any human being. Like we work to be great.
Right, but is that for you personally? You want to be great for you personally, so you slip it and you love what you've done. You might not have any approval from the audience, right, but you might really like it yourself. Yeah. Or you really want approval from the audience, right, but you might really hate what you do. Well, like what's the balance between? I understand it's not exactly like black and white, but
yeah. Well, I mean, artists are selfish from time to time. We'd like to say that we're doing it for ourselves, and for the most part, some of us are. Me personally, yes, I would like to be great for me. There are small parts of me that, of course, I want the recognition from the fans, but me being great for myself outweighs that. I see. Because it starts with me first.
It's the important.
Yeah, it starts with
what's
me first.
Inside for you. Yeah. So you're pleasing yourself. If anybody likes it, also, that's fine. But as long as you're happy with it, you will produce it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. What keeps you at night not sleeping as an artist?
Wow, what keeps me up at night?
As a hip hop
artist, as anything entertainer overall, just feeling like.
Well, you sleep like a baby.
Nah, nobody's. People in my business, we don't sleep like babies. We're up. I'm honestly, I'm a night owl. I'm up 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I may fall asleep for an hour and get back up at 6-7 o'clock. What keeps me up is because I always try to find a way to better myself. That's what keeps me up is progression. Mm-hmm. How can I be better today than I was yesterday or last week? So I always try to find new ways to keep energy.
A lot of folks are quite comfortable where they are. They satisfied with themselves. Right. And some folks are never happy with where they are. Right. No matter what you do, you still want better. When is enough is enough.
I couldn't physically tell you that. I think I know when it comes. I mean,
like when you have success, when you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you run out of ideas. When are you gonna stop?
I couldn't tell you that
because you're gonna do it forever.
Success. Well, no, I can't be. I can't be a hip hop artist forever.
Why not?
I can be an entertainer because in the arena hip hop is in, there's a time limit. There's an age limit.
Really?
There's a
So 80-year-old hip hop
not
artist.
Happening unless it's funny, unless it's like comical.
Do you think it's a prejudice? It's against the rules? Like, why is that? Just because someone is older, they cannot play? And
it's not so much the rules. It's just the it's just like I said, the arena that we're in. Like different genres. If you take rock and roll, yeah, sure, rock and roll artists can keep going until he's 70, 80, like Ozzy Osbourne and anybody like that. Hip hop, we're in a different field where we're taught it's more of a young person's game. So if you haven't already been established as an artist before 25, you trying to break into be an artist when you're like 40, it's not really going to be received well.
Why not? You think people after... I'm 43. I'm still human. I still live. I still listen to things.
No, and of course, and that's fine with you. But
you think I would only listen to the young folks? And
I don't think you listen to the young folks because of your demographic. Your demographic is a much older crowd, so you wouldn't listen to the young folks. But the majority of people that buy music, that consume music on any streaming service, are young. They're I want to say like 28 and down. They're
so
the ones
they would not
music.
relate to someone like me to play being a hip hop artist.
No, I don't think. You may find a few, but for a demographic to sell, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's that competitive.
It's very competitive, very competitive.
Okay, and how do you pace yourself for this time?
How do I pace myself? Just trying to make the right decisions try not
so
to get
you
ahead of
have
myself.
limited number of days, right? So
Right.
you have the deadline where you out,
Right.
So you basically with every day, if you're not there up there, you're losing it. It's like models, and they have expiration day. They feel so if they didn't make it until a certain age, they wouldn't make it as a
Right.
model. So
I was it's something like that, and this is why most hip hop artists transition into the acting or any other field, because it helps give a second avenue.
Escape. If you don't make it there, you
exactly.
can go elsewhere.
There's another field, and honestly, even those lead back to music. In a way.
So you do your first video, right?
Right.
And let's say you don't get famous out of the first one.
Right.
Why do the second one? So it's with every new video, you're getting older and older. So it's basically a comfort where if you didn't make it this year, so every year it's a last chance to make it, right?
Right.
On the other side, you gain more experience with every video, and you're getting better and better, and you're building following, and so like how many you need to do in order to give up or go somewhere else?
Well, that's still hard to say. I mean, the
you
ones
tried 5 times, 10 times.
I mean, I think it's more so. Not so much how much content, but again, the years. So like you said, like if you put out a video a year, if you only did 10 videos in 10 years, then you're doing something wrong. Your hustle is not as where it should be.
So your numbers don't go up?
Your numbers don't really go up, because one video a year, you can push it all, but the way we consume music these days, everything is like this.
So
you gotta have like
how many one a month?
Yeah, you gotta have like a video a month, at least a month or two.
And how it's get done? You have a crew, you have money, you film it yourself. Like, how do you?
Me personally, I have yes, I have. I don't want to say a crew, but small production team who do my videos, and also we shoot web series as well.
You pay them; they do it for fun. They do it as a friends. Like, what's the?
When you get a team, yeah, we do it for us.
End result.
And for the end result of we all gonna get
something
out of it. We're all gonna get something out of it. Anything like as far as outside services, of course, yeah, you pay that person. That's the way the world works. Team built. We all have a common goal. We're gonna reach that goal together.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not listened to the Enzile, maybe it's time for you to pay attention. As you can see in subtitles, he's a hip hop artist and he's an actor. If you'd like to see him in your production, maybe it's time for you to dial this number and look at his Instagram. What's your Instagram, by the way?
My Instagram is XYLENYC. My website is IAMXYLE.com. Has all my content, has everything. You'll enjoy it.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Joe Asso BX Vocals here with us, and you are artist from Bronx.
Yes.
So you came from Ruben, who brought quite a few artists today.
Yes.
For the show. And you do not only just singing, you also do the filming, you do the studio engineering. You have a number of trades under your belt.
Yes. I've learned in this industry, you have to be very multi-talented in order to start and get yourself in the door and be even noticed. I learned starting out as an artist.
Once you get in the door, like how those trades helping you?
Well, it helps a lot because, it makes you personable. It makes you, hey, I need to talk to this guy. He knows a lot of things. I've seen his work. I need to know what he's about. I need to get in his head. And I become a value into any artist or management or label because of the multi-talented different things that I got going on. I'm booked all the time.
Okay.
Different artists. So
how do you find your booking?
Mostly the bookings come to me. Most of the guys, I go a lot of word of mouth, different independent artists. And a lot of management companies, they refer me to their new artists that they're working on daily. And guys like Ruben, blessing to be around and help out and work out with him. And I can't wait to do new ventures as well that we got going on.
How do you like the space here? Is it?
Oh man, YouTube, man, you guys are doing it, man. I gotta respect that. You guys are really doing it here in YouTube.
So we can have quite a few cool videos here. We have Red Dragon here. It's 8K, 16K, so it's the cameras are nice.
Yeah, man, I definitely seen a lot of dope production here.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about your brand. What's differentiates you from other folks?
Well, the difference between me and a lot of folks is not really. It is a financial thing, but it's not so much because I'm genuine with most of the guys I work with.
So whatever you make, you give away, or is that?
No, I don't give away. Now that's why I was explaining. It is a financial thing because I do cost. But I do put in that work. I make sure you guys are getting, everyone that I work with gets that A quality work. I make sure I find the pieces needed to make it happen too. So.
Who have been helpful for you in your journey?
Oh man, in my journey,
your family, your friends.
Well, a lot of my family very supportive. Not at first. It was kind of, coming from the Bronx. They want you to just work. Your family wants you to work. They don't believe in the dream.
You don't think it's work, being a filmmaker or a musician?
Well, yes,
it
is.
It's not a noble profession?
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens with a lot of my family. They don't see the profession in it because I'm traveling so much and doing things.
And there are other rappers, there are other filmmakers who make a ton of money. It's a profession, just very competitive profession.
Very competitive, and that's kind of how it looks.
License, like being a lawyer, doctor, you have a license.
And you're spending years trying to get into it, man. And it's the same lottery as any other lottery. And that's what I try to explain to my family. This is real life. I've been doing this for about 10 years now as a singer-songwriter. Then
do you think if you tried for, let's say, for 10 years and after a certain time you didn't make it big, is it time to quit or it's time to keep rolling? Like at which point you expire? At which point, if it's never expire, you do it because you love it. And
music is a timeless capsule. Does it expire? No. Does the experience grow? Yes.
But why do you do this? Keep doing it. Just gives you pleasure. It's the only thing that you know of what to do.
No, I know.
You have so many other.
There's so much other professions in the world, and but the reason why I do it is because I realized I touched a lot of lives doing it. Have I released? I haven't released. I've been 10 years working on my first project.
Why did you hold on? This is your first interview. Or
right,
after 10 years, why have you not done any interviews before? Why do you do it now?
Reason being because one, I was still figuring out what I was doing. What was my real interest? Where did I need to be? My position in this industry, and what avenue should I be taking? Excuse me, passing it to me. But basically, when I started realizing my position was when I started growing within my art, meeting guys like Buddha the Future, running around with Dave East, and seeing Hocus for a Fifth, and meeting DMX for the first time, and him telling me, yo, we're gonna sit down, don't worry about it, we're gonna sit down. It brings a light saying, I have something. Then, doing this interview, I realized I haven't told nobody nothing.
Wow.
So I have to show them what I have now. And that's where I'm at with this.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for coming. Let's remind the audience what's your social media.
Yeah, man. Y'all guys can catch me on any social media. Just go on JosoBX. And also you could catch me on YouTube on a lot of feature projects. Just Google BX Vocalist or go on YouTube, BX Vocalist. BX Vocalist. And just check me out. Appreciate y'all having me today. It's the BX, and we signing out, man. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, another rapper who came here not by himself, but with his manager. So we have Ray O Special here, and his manager's Handsome.
Yeah. How you doing?
How are you? Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
No problem.
You come with a nice referral from Ruben, so that speaks for you on your behalf.
Yeah.
How do you like the space so far? The experience here?
That's definitely nice. I ain't never,
Maybe
walked up
we
with
can
a
record
building.
some nice video here. Look, how do you guys work together? What's the dynamic? Who found whom?
I mean, we both linked up around the same area from Albany.
Right, but who approached whom? You approached him or he found you?
It was actually a mutual friend. Somebody
Who
I knew.
introduced you?
Yeah, somebody I knew introduced me to him.
So your friend introduced you to him.
Yeah.
So is that a common path in the between the artist and the promoter, the producer way of doing things, or it's actually unusual? Or you usually wherever you promote, you just look for them and.
I mean, it just happened genuinely. I didn't look for nobody; it just fell upon me. I was doing music already with somebody else.
Are you friends?
Yeah, a friend of mine.
No, look, are you guys
Oh,
friends?
yeah.
What's more important, friendship or the business relationship?
Oh, friendship.
Friendship. So
Yeah.
first is you became friends, and then you decide to service that the job.
Start moving.
How's the? Let's talk a little bit about the money.
Yeah.
There is a lot of gray market money in the rap business. Drug cartels, the gangs, they all try to kind of wash the money and how is there any legal way of doing things and proper way of doing things?
You said legal?
Legal.
Oh yeah, definitely. YouTube, the internet, YouTube.
So you're getting your views.
Yeah, for
off of views
you
and
get paid,
iTunes, and that's how.
Yeah, iTunes too. Facts.
Do you do performances?
Nah, I got a performance coming up on Tuesday, actually for Coast to Coast. They
Nice.
got a little thing going on, event and all that, so I'm gonna perform there, trying to knock that out. But
Okay. Do you guys how do you find what to do? How's your day looks like?
I mean, I'm always surfing the internet because that's where you find everything at. That's where I met Mr. Burgos at. And people don't want to network. And I don't mind talking to anybody. I'm going to go anywhere where it's at.
Facts.
And make sure it happens.
Okay. What's your social media?
My social media everywhere is Ray O Special.
Ray O Special.
Facebook, got the spaces, Instagram.
Do you give him permission to look at it and run it, or you do it yourself? Like how's the?
We ain't even get to that yet, but I actually was just thinking about that recently because sometimes we be doing.
So
this
you
now
run
and
your
then.
own social media. He
Yeah.
has nothing to do with this. So
not yet.
But at some point, the trust builds up, and you give the password to him, so he can run it for you, or you just
it ain't
keep
even
forever on
No, we
your,
got
on your
passwords.
It ain't even a trust thing. It's just that's just not exactly what we doing right now. We just didn't say like, yo, let me sign at his phone. You never know, we might leave here after. Like, yo, I ain't even think of that. So it's like, we just didn't discuss it. But
Okay.
It's necessary.
And this is your poster, and
that's my flyer. That's my flyer. That's my CD. Send out attention. Spinrilla, on SoundCloud. I'm gonna be dropping a couple singles on YouTube soon. Just when I don't know, y'all gotta turn up a little bit more, but I do got a couple singles on YouTube, couple videos. My the latest video I put up, it's on World Star. It's on World Star, so it's on YouTube, and it's on my mixtape Spinrilla, SoundCloud, Facebook. It's everywhere. It's going up. The views going up. Almost at like.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to reach out to these guys and listen to Ray O Special music, perhaps that's easy to remember. Ray O Special. And obviously, if you want to book those guys, this gentleman, you have to go through Handsome, and that would be the proper way of building the business. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is next to me, have amazing music, and his music is been inspiration to a friend of mine, Travis, who is behind the camera. So if Travis is saying it's awesome, it must be awesome. Pardon me for my voice. I got a little bit sick today, so You have to forgive me. Bob Black, you're a rapper. You do movies. You do web series. You are a clothing designer. How do you juggle so many balls together?
Dedication. Just the energy be positive, and I just be moving. I move.
Some people, let's say, like Travis, you stay in the lane, you being, let's say, a photographer. That's it. That's what you do. But you have, you're a designer. You this. You great at everything, or you just one helps in the other?
It comes into
well, it's come together.
It comes all together. It comes all together in play with the music world. Like, they see when I'm on the stage, they might see a shirt, a certain type of shirt I have on, a certain type of hat I have on,
right?
And they'll like it. And I'm into.
So if you're an artist, it doesn't matter if it's visual or it's clothing. It's a sound. It's art is art. I see. I see.
That's just to go with the trending. Set that trend, and you got some followers that's willing to go with the trending. Then why not?
How do you improve your skill set? What do you do to get better?
Write, work, read. Like I read.
What do you write?
I write every day.
Your notes?
Yeah, I write in my memo.
On a paper or
in my memo? I write in my memory alone every day. Whether I'm at work, I have a 9 to 5 too. So I
you have a 9 to 5 job?
Yes.
What do you do?
401k plan. Yeah, I'm a manager at a aviation port company. So
what is that?
It's in Long Island, actually.
No, what do you do for them?
Like drive forklifts, scanning.
What is that?
Forklifts. Drive the forklifts, meat package. Like it's like a big production company, food company. They supply Walmart, different places.
So you have the day job and you have all the those hobbies, and you're trying. The day job pays the bills basically, and the hobbies pays the soil and give you some data. I see. When do you think it will? At some point, what makes you happy should be the primary, and the day job can go away. How do you get to that level? How do you get there?
I'm comfortable. I'm not really comfortable yet. I'm still trying to find my comfortability. So I attack certain things that I like, that I love. I love the work. I just love I don't like to wake up and you just laying around. So my first priority is to get up off my butt and go find something to do. Positive energy. I just like to get up and work. So if I'm working, I will work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. But during that Monday through Friday, I leave work and come all the way from Long Island and may go to the studio. If I don't have the studio, I have a show. So I have like 3-4 shows a day. A week.
You go live?
Yeah. Every day. Right now, these past 2-3 years that I've been working hard now with the hip hop, I've been doing shows every day.
Do you do live on the phone or on the camera? Like what's your setup for live show?
Like shows I do, I be just doing the setup. I have promoters, they set them up for me. But I promote myself, I manage myself, I do everything myself. So if I might do at the job, people come in my email, come attack me. You did a good show over here. I think I need you over here. And I just go out and I go out and I go out and I support other artists. I support other people.
Okay.
Whatever they do.
Art and politicians not always go together.
No.
Especially hip hop. What do you think needs to be done to have more politicians involved in the hip hop business? Pardon me for my voice.
I don't want to get caught up in it, but I would say
speak from your heart. Like we're not
from my heart. The medication of the hip hop world. I think they medicating it wrong, like with druggings.
They think we take drugs.
I think they're going about it wrong by promoting with the drugs, and I don't think that have to be like. It's other ways around it, like.
So you don't see politicians doing hip hop?
Yeah, I see it. I can see it because it coincides with they can help eliminate these people stop a lot of negative music coming out.
Why there are so little elderly people? Let's say I'm 43.
Okay.
why can I become success in hip hop? I'm out of age. I'm out of color. Like,
hip hop don't have no age. I don't think it have. I don't think it has no age.
No age. You can be 80 years old and you can be a hip hop artist.
You still see them guys. Them guys like who we got. Jay-Z still out there. Jay-Z still making albums.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure he's, what, 40 plus?
Yep, true.
He's still dope. He still have kids my age. Michael Jackson, the late great, if he was still making music, my kids, grandkids, if they was making, they would still understand his music. And they still
there
dance
is
for it.
no age in this.
There's no age in hip hop. That's just the culture.
How do you work in the hip hop with the greatest? Like you mentioned a couple of names. There are famous artists out there. How you to get to them? How do you find them? You can write today, in today's world, if I go on Twitter and I write to Trump, he reads it. So there are, in the past, if you have to go to religions, this and this, it was a whole bunch of procedures. Nowadays, to get to major artists, you can just write something and they read it on the Twitter, Instagram. It's much faster, but what do you say to get to someone great and to make them work with you?
Stay relevant. How I got here today, to even hear your words, I'll be in front of this camera. Just stay relevant, stay hard, stay dedicated to what you want to do in life, period. Like, if that's what you're trying to do, if you want to meet Jay-Z or you want to meet these people, you have to go to these places. You have to attack these places. You have to look where Jay-Z is going to be at tonight.
Yeah, but it's more like stalking.
It will be more like stalking, but you don't have to go to Jay-Z place and go, hey, Jay-Z, I'm here. No, you just make yourself relevant. And whatever you do, you master your craft and you do it. And of course, eventually somebody's going to see you and watch that and they're going to take liking to you and they might get you to Jay-Z.
Okay.
Because all you have to do is speak on it. Speak. Don't be afraid to speak.
What is the zone of comfort for you as an artist? Like, how do you find what's right?
Right now, I'm on. Right now, where I'm at, support, help. Right? That goes aside with supporting. Right? I might know a few cameramans, but do I have my own cameraman? No. I might know a few producers, but do I have my own beat guy? No. You understand what I'm saying? I might know a few people that can get me in these places, but is they really doing it? Do I? No. So that's my main concern right now. Comfortability is supporting, having a supporting network group.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions for the Bo Black, maybe you can give us a call or email or reach out to us. What's your social media?
Bo Black, BOBLAKK, everything. Instagram is SS_Bo Black, BOBLAKK. Twitter, everything Bo Black. YouTube, everything Bo Black, BOBLAKK.
Thank you so much for coming.
Nice meeting you too, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Briscoe Bash in the building.
Rocco Racks, outside L58.
After 10 hours of shooting all day long, I was not able to pronounce those names, but let me give it a try. Rocco Bash and Briscoe Bash. So, in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more musician team here, but not only musicians. As you can see, those logos are part of the Rocco fashion line. You're also a fashion designer. How those two things mix together, like your fashion and singing? Does it help each other?
It gives people like more of a reason to look into you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, say if they don't like your music but they like your clothes, that's another reason for your fans to stay with you.
I see, but how do the music makes them love your clothes, or the clothes makes does it help each other?
Yeah, it loves each other. Like one hand washes the other.
Depends on your music. You have good music. Some people buy into your stuff just because of music. Some people would
But don't you feel offended because just because, let's say, his music is awesome, and out of charity they would buy your clothes, not because it's so awesome they want to wear it, but because of your music. Don't you think it's not fair, or you think it's...
No, it's okay, because they still buying it.
Yeah, they still buying it.
Still buying it.
Still buying it. I see. Got you. Tell us a little bit about your junction. There are two of you. I seen today the bands with 3 people, 4 people, 1 person. Why 2? Why not more? Why not less? Why do you guys together?
2 heads is better than 1.
That's a nice expression. And but 3 heads better than 2?
But I never heard of no expression like that.
The less people, the better. As long as you have, you see, when you have people that has the same mindset, the same goal, the same, they just have to be on the same, like the same
page,
basically. Do you guys look into this as a lifespan? Let's say usually, like most of groups, like say you stay together for 10 years, 20 years. At some point, many bands disassemble. Like, do you look at the life expectancy of the band, or are you planning to stay forever together? Like, how's that?
Yeah, we're gonna stay forever together because we started from the bottom together.
Okay, so you
only one way up.
Okay. What's the logic of being in rappers? Like, is there like a soul? Like, why are you doing this? Where it's come from? It's like you have certain feelings. You have different feelings, right? How do you put together so it's 2 men singing, like 2 souls together?
Because it's like 2 different life experiences, and you just put them into one.
Okay.
But the 2 different life experiences is so similar that they
have
just
similarities.
Exactly. So it's just like,
so it makes it easier to fall in love.
You complement each other. Like you help. Like it's one. Like without the other, is not as powerful as the 2 of you together.
No, we both have to be leaders. Like
both leaders
have to be 2 kings on the chessboard.
So it's pretty much equal. So there is no one is on top and the second. It's like 50-50 all the way.
Exactly.
Cool. How's your family supporting you in your career?
At first, they wasn't really like this. They wasn't really a thing there. But as time went along, they're more supportive now into it. By then,
why are they supporting now? Do they see that you love it and they want you to be happy?
Yeah, they seen that,
and
like,
it's more progress.
They seen like he's really into
future?
this. He's doing.
You see that you stick to it. It's not like a couple of months adventure and you're done. You're actually living the dream.
Exactly.
Okay. Why do you friends with Chief Dope? Why?
Why we Chief Dope?
Is it Ruben?
Ruben. Yeah, that's how he branded himself.
Ruben.
Yeah,
we actually had a performance in the club.
Yeah, La Oficina in Queens. Shout out La Oficina.
Shout out Last too. We had a performance, and after the performance, he came up to us. It's like,
okay,
yeah. He told us about Saturday. Just come in Saturday.
Cool.
Cool.
Guys, let's see. What's your social media?
You can find me on Instagram, Briscoe_crime, Crime Life Clothing.
Where do you make your clothes? You do it at home? You have a factory? Like how big is the operation? Is it just how many?
The operation right now is we're growing as we go along.
And we're doing it fast.
Yeah.
We surprising people fast.
Okay.
So right now we working basically out of factory, but we get our clothes and we just have them done there. Because the factory, they do everything one shot. You could buy your pieces.
But how do you grow your numbers? Like how do you get the clothes out more and more? What do you need to do?
Right now, promotion, but right now we're kind of keeping it exclusive right now.
Okay.
So that way, when people really know about us and we hot, they just fiend it. They just want to grab it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because
so right
of
now
us.
We're just keeping it really exclusive. Certain people come, but it's not really out there right now. We're not really looking to push it out there to people in their faces right now.
Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear your social media one more time.
In fact, add me on Instagram, man. Briscoe_crime, Crime Life Clothing.
Hopefully you like what you heard, and these guys are probably available.
Go get that count up out now, man. iTunes, Tidal, Pandora.
58 Crumbs.
You know what I'm saying? 58 Crumbs on the way.
At Rocco Racks, SoundCloud, IG, a lot of social medias. You can't do all that.
Right, go get that counted up though. Spotify, Tidal,
SoundCloud,
iTunes,
Rocco
everywhere.
Racks. Briscoe Bash, we up next. Huh?
Whoa.
Thank you.